Isaac, just how well did the health sector perform in Lira?
Well, what I can tell you, Shamim and Dalton, is that for Lango sub-region, it's a mixture of success and, of course, challenges that we see across the districts that is making up Lango sub-region. If you look like, for instance, a list of health centers that were marked for upgrade, at least I can say that right now they do have new infrastructures, new buildings, and also there are quite a number of them that still has the constructions ongoing, but the funds were secured in the 2025-2026 financial year. Take for instance, like in Lira City here, where of course we saw upgrades for health centers like Ongesha, like Yago, but of course for the residents who are going to seek services from these facilities, it is not about the infrastructure that stands at those facilities, but what kind of services, is it accessible? It is something that they've been discussing about. If you can look at some of the pictures that we are able to gather from the different facilities from Lira Regional Referral Hospital, it tells you the burden, or of course how locals struggle to access services from these facilities. At Lira Regional Referral Hospital, where of course we do understand that the outpatient department receives up to more than 400 people every day seeking services from the facilities, and yet the suffers from, of course, understaffing, talk of medical supplies. Currently, the staffing seal at the facility lies at less than 400, and yet it has a staffing seal of 1,170 staffs that is required to be running that facility. And so that tells you that much as we do have infrastructures, much as we do have these facilities upgraded, what still remains a discussion for most of the patients who are seeking services from these facilities lies in the quality of services and, of course, what they're able to get from there. We are also made to understand that in most of the districts across Lango sub-region, much as we do have a regional call center for the ambulances for Lango sub-region right here in Lira City, locals still have to part with some amount of money before they access the ambulances that are either stationed in Lira or in the respective districts, like in Dokolo, where, of course, locals say they are made to pay up to 70,000 shillings for them to be accessing these government ambulances. It's a question of how much they have been able to benefit from that financial year, Shamim. For now, I'll back to you at the command center.
So much, Isaac Otui. Those are some of the challenges of the people of Lira, and we're looking at the health sector and how well it performed. Well, ambulances are stationed elsewhere. You have to part with some money. But let's find out from Ronald Sechide, who joins us from PG, to find out Obabo Ate Bianjawulo Muko. Ronald Sechide, agenda yatwega sekoda. Ronald, amacha malungi embera y'ebyobulamu mu bitundu eby'MPG Gomba yeeyimiridde etya?
Okay, neyanza nnyo mugana n'omulabi wa NBS atagikeddeko amacha g'olunaku olwaliro. Kakati ne wanene wenyimiridde ndi mu district ey'Egomba era nga nyimidde ku area ya Kanoni Health Center 3. Naye kye njagala osooka okutegeezaako, njagala okulaga nti Gomba nga district erimu constituency ebbiri. Erimu amalwaliro ga gavumenti gali 17 gokka, nga mu gano erinamu eddwaliro ku mutendera gwa Health Center 4 alirimu lyokka, ate nga 8 gali ku mutendera gwa Health Center 3 kosa 8 ku mutendera gwa Health Center 4. Naye amalwaliro ago njagala nsooke nkulage biki ebigasomooza nga tetunnaba ate kulaba byo ebisomooza abantu. Amalwaliro gano twategezeddwako okusinziira ku atwala ebibulamu neno mu district y'Egomba nti Health Center 4 eyandibadde n'abasawo abayaddala 139 abeesanze nga balinako abasawo 26 bokka, kw'oteeka Health Center 3 nti abandibadde nga balina omuwendo ogw'abasawo abawera ddala 53 eno balinawo 11 bokka. Bo ku mutendera gwa Health Center 2 okwandibadde abasawo 9 weesanga nti balinako abasawo 2 bokka. Kakati ekyo kiragawa kikuleeta ku bulumi omuntu waneno mu Nagomba bw'aba nga azze okuba nga ataafuna obuweereza ku malwaliro gano nti eddwaliro wandibadde abasawo 139 omukolako waba nga ali 26 bokka, aweesanga nga amalwaliro ago gabeera n'omujjuzo oguwerako omuntu najja anaavaawo ng'ate tafunye buweereza nga kimwetagisa ate komawo lunaku lulala lwankya okuba ng'ate akolwako. Kakati no Gomba njagala nkutegeezeeko nti kasookedde ng'ebeerawo ye disitulikiti etafunanga wadde ambulensi so kakati nti ebyentambuza y'abalwadde kubanga tukitegedde nti obuweereza obusinga neno mu disitulikiti y'Egomba tebuliimu singa nti obeera weetaaze obujjanjabi obusingakaawo kikwetaagisa kurifaringa mu disitulikiti endala ezituliraanye naye ate emmotoka eyinza okuba ng'ate ekutambuza eya ambulensi wano mu disitulikiti y'Egomba tebanganamu ate era n'okutuusa kati teriimu so kakati ekyo kireka nti abantu baffe aweesanga nga abamu kikwetaagisa kukozesa bodaboda takisi oba kyokuddusa omulwadde oyo abeera ali mu mbeera embi nga wano mu Gomba tebamusobodde akakati no byemu ku ebyo ebisoomooza eno naye ng'eno anjagala okutegeezaako nti Gomba amalwaliro agalimu mitendera gyonna tekuliiko ddwaliro n'erimu lirina mulongoosa so okuggyako nti abakyala abo abatono nga ekizibu kyo si kyamaanyi nnyo nga obadde ozaala nti w'okuddwaliro Health Center 4 wali eri emaddu osobola okuba nga ate olongosebwa naye singa embeera egezaako okusukakaawo kiba kigenda kwetaagisa ate kuddusa mu disitulikiti endala nti nga n'eddwaliro linene erya Butambala eririmu oba erya hospital mu Greater Mpigi yonna nga lyeririmu lyokka era ojja kutuukayo ng'oluusi obuweereza tebuliiyo ng'olina kutwalibwa Mulago. Kakati n'Egomba abantuuze basiŋŋana okusoomooza okw'enjawulo ennyo wakati mu kufuna ebyobulamu so kakati ng'emu ku bizibu ebirina okukolwako bo bagamba nti waakiri eddwaliro ly'Amaddu Health Center 4 lyandibadde lisumuusibwa ne lituuka ate ku mutendera gwa hospital sinakindi nti we kiba kisoboka babafunireyo waakiri ambulensi ebayambeko nti amalwaliro gwe gaba tegannaba kubeeramu muno waakiri nga balina emmotoka esobola okuba nga ate batuusa ewali obuweereza obwo. Njagala okkirize ankomewo gy'oli ku Political Command Center otwongereyo mu bitundu ebirala naye nga Gomba embeera bw'eti bweyimiridde mu byobulamu.
Tweyanziza Ronald Sechidde eyo y'embeera y'ebyobulamu mu bitundu eby'Empigi. That is an audit from the areas of Mpigi, but again you see a recurring list of problems.
Yes.
The ambulances are stationed. You have to part with some money before you access. There are no, the staffing issue continues across the board.
Just gone by, I had an argument, I think, with Simon and I don't know who, about cost sharing. And cost sharing and vis-a-vis the purported free medical services. You get it? They tell that the people can access free medical service. But at the end of the day, they have to part with money, like you've said. And I argued, how then, why don't we just make it formal that this person will come with my 5,000 and it's standard?
I'll get Panados.
You get it? Then, while in the...
For the bottom million? Or?
No, and look at it this way, because even the bottom... this is why we're actually lying to ourselves. That even the bottom million are parting with that 2,000 in order to get access to that.
So what does government at Uyambe mean now? Because I pay for my security, I pay for my garbage, I contribute to the upgrade of my road.
You'd rather know that it's formally given than this going under the table. Anyway, let's go to Farish Magembe to find out. We shall have this argument and understand the context of this. Alex Mugasha, who is in Ankole region. I know he has captured many of what is happening in Ankole, and we need to know what is happening. Yes, Alex, Nakushemera, give us a picture of what is happening in your region.
Ninja Najira Dalton Orirota kandi ni Mnyanyazi Tracy Orirota na ni warukutureba NBS Orirota. Yes, good morning to you, and permit me begin with the fact that what you're seeing behind me, this is not a commercial building. No, it isn't. This is a maternity ward that is being constructed here at the Mbarara City Health Center 4. It used to be called Municipal Council, but now it is Mbarara City Health Center 4. It is a maternity ward. It's going to be a 2-floor maternity ward that is under construction, and it is funded by the Health Activity Uganda in partnership with the European Union. And Mbarara City is making sure that works are underway. Now, that definitely triggers us to think that there will be, better service delivery here at the City Health Center 4. But I can tell you, it still has been not that bad when you come here to access services at the Health Center 4, because at least I can confirm that there is a theater here. And at least I have... I am one of the people that have had services here at the Health Center 4. The challenge that we do still have, and something that is really becoming normal, is that you will get to the facility and a number of medical equipment will not be there, including medicines, and you will be asked to go and get this medicine, outside in pharmacies and name it. At least that one I can confirm, and it's not just happening here, it is happening even at Mara Regional Referral Hospital. And these patients that I've interacted with have told me that they have, they have to buy some of the medical equipment required, as well as some of the medicines. But also important to note is that government injected quite huge sums of money in the previous financial year that we are concluding. At least we have seen the neonatal care intensive care unit at Mbara Regional Referral Hospital that has, consumed about 1.9 million US dollars, which is about 7.12 billion Uganda shillings. The neonatal care intensive care unit is complete, but it has not yet been commissioned. At least what we also know is that for now, about equipment that cost about 4 billion Uganda shillings has also been already installed in the neonatal intensive care unit, or NICU, if you may, at Mbara Regional Referral Hospital, but it has not yet been commissioned. At least that one I confirm. It was to be commissioned last year, but that didn't happen around November, but that didn't happen. Actually, December, it was supposed to be commissioned, but that did not happen. But then we see that it is complete. It hasn't yet been commissioned, and the Ministry of Health is still silent. We are yet to see when it will be commissioned. But it appears complete, and in fact, the equipment is already there, but it is not yet complete. We had the Inspector General of Government visit Mbara Regional Referral Hospital last year, and quite a number of issues were raised, including distortion. So this is still under investigation, and we are yet to see the outcomes of that investigation. But what I can tell you is that service delivery remains a challenge, much as the infrastructure is actually being erected. Let me get back to you, Dalton and Tracy at the Political Command Center. Good morning.
Well, deplorable is how I can describe what is happening in some of the sampled spaces in Njala and Tracy when we do an audit.
Can I give you lighters? I mean, people are taking their breakfast. It's hard to stress in the morning.
We need to stress people.
Germany is out of the World Cup. We grew up knowing football is made in Germany. Some of us who watched black and white knew that there was football in Germany.
Yes.
Guess who beat them? Paraguay. A small country. You know, it's about surprises. Yes. Now, another lighter for me was the Right Honorable Oboth.
Things are serious.
Issuing a red flag on witchcraft in Parliament. Perhaps these things are serious, by the way.
When you see people take their own chairs, we've seen where people are like, go with your chair, I'll bring my chair.
I think we need to engage our viewers on this. What do you think of the Speaker's remarks regarding witchcraft in Parliament? So does it suggest that perhaps the past speakers have been under some bit of charm?
I am just asking, is there an investigation? How do you get to the bottom of it? Do you institute an investigation?
How do you know?
How do you know? You see, this is the thing.
Okay, let's hear from our viewers. What do you make of the Speaker's remarks?
So as the viewers are giving us their remarks, I think, Tracy, you need
we definitely want to head to Soroti and join Eddie Enuru. Again, it is a critical look at what the financial year 2025-2026 had to offer in terms of the health sector for the test Teso sub-region. And there we have it. Eddie Enuru, a very good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. On a whole scale, we have concerns from, ambulances that are stationed because there is no fuel or they're broken down, to issues of staffing. Just what are the key concerns in the health sector for the people of Teso sub-region?
Well, a very good morning, country. A very good morning to you and Uganda. The Soroti and the Teso sub-region is not any different from many other parts of the country. And of course, when we look at the health sector, there is quite a lot that is wanting. But I'm joined by one of the senior citizens right here in Soroti. Good morning, Benson.
Good morning, viewers.
We want to dive into the health sector. Where do you think, what are the gaps that have been seen? And first of all, are patients receiving health care in your own observation?
I think the government has fairly done very well in terms of PCH, that is public health care, reaching out, vaccination, and so on. This has been quite a coverage is good. But the challenge has been in medical care. If you look at the budget has still remained too low. If you looked at Soroti Referral Hospital, the budget allocation per capita is less than 800 shillings per patient. They handle about 800 patients in a year. And if you look at the ratio to against the allocation is good. Infrastructure development has also been a challenge. Priorities have been upside down. A ward in Soroti Referral Hospital collapsed in 2019, but they prefer to build a new administration block. So, which to me was upside down, because they should have looked at that. It's good they have put up a blood bank, which was launched by the Vice President last year. That is a plus, but in terms of management of staff, especially the interns. Interns provide 80% of the medical care services in the country. But when you look at the policy government policy on interns, they have not been paid, they have not been what. They only require 24 billion to put them back on road. Yesterday I was listening to Kenya. They are deploying over 6,300 interns, and they have improved their pay. In Uganda, we are saying we should send them to the field without anything. These are things which affect public health care. And I think government needs to revisit its budget, to revisit its forecast. I mean, why can't we raise, if the budget of this year is 17 billion for firewood, don't you think that could be relocated to deal with the challenge of...
Soroti Regional Referral Hospital was built where years back.
So many years ago, I think around 1929, and it was basically for handling akue, hydrocels.
Hydrocels, yes.
And if you go to Ward 2, which was actually for that purpose, it was the starting point way back in 1929 there. So up to today, we are still using a ward, a theater, that was designed in 1950s. It is so small, it leaks, needs a lot of attention. And this is a referral hospital. It is actually not even a teaching hospital. And I think it's what type of graduates are we going to produce from Soroti University if a teaching hospital is so despicable? So I think these are the things. You go to the wards, children's ward. It was designed originally for 35 children. Today you have over 200 children admitted in that place.
So what are the biggest urgent gaps that you need, that you think government should address?
Government must focus on infrastructure development in the health sector, upgrading them, making sure that they are up to global standards. We are still using beds that were condemned by World Health Organization many years ago. We are still using what they call out-of-pocket funding model, which is outdated. So government must focus on reviewing its budget, improving infrastructure, improving the staffing conditions of work. I mean, you cannot tell me interns must not be paid. That is ridiculous. Globally, interns are well catered for. Kenya is just doubling their pay. And I think it will be a negative on the side of Uganda. And then also, I think they must improve the issues. Prevention good is, Uganda is doing very well in terms of managing emergencies, prevention. I think I commend them there. In terms of vaccination coverage, this is excellent.
Yes.
But in terms of infrastructure development, in terms of policy, in terms of budget, we have still remained the lowest. Per capita location in a Tiril Health Center too.
Yes.
It's still 800 shillings.
Okay.
The bed occupancy rate is 11,000 the whole year. That means government has 11,000 to keep you admitted in a hospital.
As a wind up.
So I think government must focus. My conclusion is there are two things which drive economic mobility.
Yes.
Education and health. The focus of government should be concentrated on these two to lift us, our community up.
Thank you very much for sharing with us. Now, this is Teso sub-region. There's quite a number of gaps that need to be addressed as the year comes to an end, the financial year comes to an end, and as the new financial year comes in and takes off, there are quite a number of areas that need to be looked on in terms of health and infrastructure. But much more we'll be giving you in our subsequent bulletins. For now, let me return back to you, the Political Command Center. Trace.
Eddie and Nuru, many thanks for joining us this morning. The health sector,
Have you told viewers that the financial year starts on 2nd July?
A day from today's 30th.
Oh, yes. Oh.
30th
of
June.
June is gone.
Already.
June is gone.
You made news.
June is gone.
What was wrong with June? But did you see June
It's
alone?
been everything, dramatic, sickening.
At some point,
What more?
At some point, June felt
Slow,
like it had
hot.
the 365 in
Yes.
1 month. Really packed, really packed.
Yeah,
I
for
can't wait to
news,
see-
of course. Our trays have been full.
Yes.
Our data has been burnt.
But you
'Cause
have...
we've been staying up late, expecting the next tweet to do it.
But you have to give it up for the mental health of Ugandans.
Let's find out whether the minister was also waiting for the next tweet.
Absolutely. We want to join Edgar Matthew Karhanga, who is ready to
And that should be the
join us.
question. Whether she was expecting a next tweet or...
Yes.
Okay. Edgar Matthew Karanga is joining us. There you go. Edgar, very good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. June offered quite the lineup. And of course, we were waiting to find out just if from your end and the Honorable Minister's end, you were just perhaps a tweet away from closing the year. We do fireworks and we call it a year. How well is it from your end?
Tracy, good morning. Really, really funny. I don't even know how to start, but June has really been eventful and very interesting a month for us. And it's very beautiful that we are concluding it with the State Minister for Gender, that is Mary Kamuli Kutesa. As we speak right now, she is a new incumbent in the, in the ministry itself, but also in the ministerial position. But also this particular lady is from Menge South. That is the constituency that she's coming from and representing. So we want to touch base with her, understand how, of course, she feels being a first-time minister, but most importantly, what are some of the plans that Honorable Mary Kutesa has for the gender and cultural fraternity in the country. And of course, let me join her this morning. Good morning, Minister. It's always a privilege having you on NBS. How do you feel being a first-time minister?
Thank you, Edgar. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Uganda. How does it feel being a first-time minister? I think I would use 3 words. I am honored, very, very honored, because I mean, among the so many that are ministers this morning, why me? So it's really the honor and grace of God. Yeah. Number 2, I am very, very humbled to be called at such a time to make a contribution at the executive level of this country, at the most senior executive level of managing and governing Uganda. So that's a very humbling experience. The other word I would use is tuned in to listen, learn very fast, because there is no time to learn what the ministry is all about. You dive in day 1, you are appointed minister, day 1 you start work. So I'm very tuned in to learn as much as I can. But most importantly, I feel very anxious to make a contribution. So
that's the point I want to come through, the contribution that you're going to make. What plans do you have for this ministry? What vision do you have for the people of Uganda in regards to the Ministry of Gender?
The Ministry of Gender is a very interesting ministry. It is the people ministry. So I think we are the ministry who takes care and responsibility of everyone, including the president, because we take care of all gender, which is men and women. We take care of the youth. We take care, very importantly, of the issues of women in as far as gender parity is concerned, those issues that, kind of keep women behind. We take care of the elderly. We take care of the special interest groups, the disabled. We take care of the culture of the people of Uganda. And I think for me that's very, very important, because it's not just culture. It is who you are. It is who we are. It's what makes us Ugandans. You take care of the religious, the interreligious council is all under the Ministry of Gender. So people's faith and issues of faith are also housed here. We take care of culture, the cultural institutions of this country. And so we are almost dealing with the entire country, and on the intangible issues, the real people issues, the human aspects of our economy, the social aspects. So I'm very honored to deal with the Ministry of Gender, because it gives my passionate plea of reaching out to people, working with people, and changing lives at the national level.
That's interesting, and I'm going to come back to that, to the issue of the young people, the youth themselves. What plans do you have for them? But right now, on a rather lighter note, how has your day changed? Because you have been ordinarily a Ugandan first, then a member of parliament, now you're a minister. So when you take us through your day normally, how did it used to look like vis-a-vis right now when you're a minister? Just juxtapose for us those days. Are you busy these days? How is your schedule?
Yes, it is very busy, but I'm not new to being busy. You might realize that you didn't find me in the queue trying to get into the office. I'll probably be here 6 a.m., and that's been my routine for a number of years where I was working before. Yes, it's busy because I got into politics. I'm new into politics for the first time. I have a constituency to run, so many calls to make, so many people to talk to. And then suddenly, the Lord says, and the President says, take on more responsibility. So now you also have daily desk work as minister to overlook very important things. So yes, it is busy, and managing the balance between the constituency and the affairs of the office here, tight. But I do believe that the training I have had before, the early rising, the working hard, is going to help me to make sure I balance both places, keep the national boat at the ministry level going very well and excellently. I actually never like to be in a place and I make no contribution. And I also have every intention to keep among my people at the constituency level. Whether I am there or not, they should feel my presence as their leader.
But isn't it heavy? Isn't it tedious a task for you, Honorable Minister?
Edgar, we have a very short time, very, very short time to be here on earth. And so every time you have, don't complain about it being a lot of work. Be grateful that God has given you responsibility. Multiply your effort and your energy and get it done. So I am not going to be phone on the go, it is busy. Yes, it is. But thank God it is. So let's get it done.
Lastly, as I get back to studio, we cannot leave here without you talking about the youth, the children and the women, those vulnerable groups. What plans do we have for them that are targeting these young people particularly, or these vulnerable communities?
Yes, our young people, which is the biggest part of our percentage of our population, most of them, I think about 5 million, to be specific, if I have the statistics right, 5 million are not employed. They are not in school. They are also not in any sort of training. That is dangerous, because these are young people. They have the energy, they have the zeal, they are the productive resource this country has. And so for them not to be in school, not to be in employment, not to be in training is very dangerous for Uganda. And we must immediately do something to change that. So our first steps, I think, is one, to make sure that we have the regional industry hubs. The policy of this country is that every region must have an industry hub. This will force people to go into production, either on their land in the farms or in the factories themselves. So immediately that will become useful resource, and that for me is my strategy, to work with everybody involved in making sure these industries are up and running. Fortunately, they are part of our NDP4. They are planned and intended to happen. So we must have that whole government arrangement of making sure you're working and teaming up with everybody to make sure the real catalyst is happening, and that is job creation. So we must create jobs. We must get this very energetic resource into the work system, create more money for this country to make sure we are at the $500 billion economy we want to see.
Thank you so much. The $500 billion economy, Tracy and Dalton, that is the vision that Minister has for this particular ministry. And of course, we wait to see. The camera is always something that tracks and records. So we shall hold the minister accountable to these particular promises and commitments. But of course, it's her first time in office, and it's very, easy a task for her. We wait to see. Tracy, back to you at the Political Command Center. Good morning.
Thank you so much, Edgar Matthew Karhanga. And there you have it, commitments.
Find the right name for this new brand, for this new cabinet. The other one was a Fisher cabinet.
Is it you who created it?
No, we can continue it.
Actually, if you ask most of them, there's a word, I think they call themselves Team No Sleep or something like that. So one of those.
Stockholm Pia.
That is one of them.
But yesterday I saw at the first cabinet sitting, the president has a challenge. How do you get to know those people? Look at them.
Oh, there we have it. The first cabinet sitting.
It's a whole stadium.
There we go. It's a mixed bag. I'm looking at the average age of our ministers.
Yeah, but can you call them by name?
Well, as long as they deliver.
Topical discussion comes up next.
The Ministry of Health informs the public to remain vigilant against Ebola virus disease. Symptoms include diarrhea, vomiting, abdominal pain, fever, and body weakness. If you or someone you know develops these symptoms, seek medical attention immediately. Protect yourself and others by avoiding handshakes and unnecessary physical contact, washing your hands regularly with soap and water, or using an alcohol-based sanitizer. Cleaning frequently touched surfaces and avoid direct contact with infected person's body fluids like vomit, stool, sweat, and urine. To report a suspected Ebola case, send an SMS to 6767 and type alert, or call the toll-free number 0800 100 066. Report early, protect lives.
Hey travelers, are you a family gearing up for that big vacation, a hustler working abroad coming home, or your squad chasing sunsets and passport stamps? It's time you lock in. Say goodbye to long airport queues, shocking roaming bills, and the stress of hunting for local SIM cards, because now you can travel like a local. Stay connected in over 180 countries. Just scan, tap, and boom! Instant data the moment you reach your destination. Get your Rogue Travel eSIM today at travel.roguetelecom.co.ug. Contact us on 020 500 123.
The National Mosquito Net Distribution Campaign is back. No one should die of malaria in this era. It is your responsibility to chase malaria from your home. The good news is that the government of Uganda has once again started distribution of mosquito nets under the 5th Universal Coverage Campaign, also known as the Under the Net campaign. Under this exercise, 1 mosquito net will be distributed per 2 people in every household. A village health team member, a community health extension worker, also known as a CHU, and the LC1 chairperson will move house to house to register members of the household in preparation for receiving their mosquito nets. Do not lie back. Ensure that you register all your household members to receive a mosquito net. On the distribution date, move to your distribution point and receive your net. Mosquito nets protect you and your family members from infectious mosquito bites that lead to malaria. Ensure that you receive the net, hang the net, and sleep under the net every night.
Did you know? Brought to you by
Fake spare parts can be deceiving. They seem cheaper, they seem good enough, they get you moving for now. But what you don't see is the hidden cost, damage to your car, endless repairs, wasted time off the road, and potential risk to lives. In the long run, fake parts cost you more. Choose genuine parts from any CFA or mobility location countrywide.
Did you know? Brought to you by
Uganda, are you ready? The biggest football stars on the planet are about to light up your screen. From June 11th to July 19th, 2026, history will be made at the FIFA World Cup 2026. Live from Mexico, Canada, and USA. Watch the world's biggest stars chase glory on football's grandest stage. Will Mbappe shine again? Can Messi defy time one more time? Will Africa finally break the jinx and shock the world? Can Jude Bellingham dominate the midfield? Or will Haaland, the goal machine, explode into the world stage? Catch all 104 matches live, uninterrupted, only on Azam TV. Get your Azam TV decoder today for only 40,000 Uganda shillings or 80,000 with a dish inclusive. Visit any authorized dealer countrywide or call 0312 308 900 today. Azam TV.
Entertainment for everybody. Breaking now. Now Post delivers Uganda's fastest, accurate news as it happens. From hard-hitting headlines to exclusive interviews, we bring details of stories everyone is talking about. Accurate, fast, and balanced. Get every update at nowpost.co.ug. Follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, and never miss a moment. The Now Post. Accurate news, fast.
Welcome to Radio Wala, Uganda's very first radio station made just for Indian diaspora and lovers of Indian culture. From timeless Bollywood classics to today's hottest hits. Vibrant festivals, mouth-watering stories, and heartfelt moments from our community. Listen exclusively on Afro Mobile, your cultural connection anytime, anywhere. Whether you're cooking, driving, or just relaxing. Turn up the joy with Radio Wala, because here every day is a celebration. Radio Wala, let's play.
Well, a very good morning and welcome to this edition of the Topical Discussion. With me, Simon Kagwanjala. Today is the 30th of June, and the big news is the financial year 2025-2026 comes to an end. But what's the story to write home about the sectoral performance? Well, we are going sector by sector. And today, our spotlight will be on the health sector that was allocated 5.87 trillion in the 2025-2026 budget. We'll do a breakdown for you on the key areas that had been targeted and ask whether they have indeed met the targets and the expectations before we talk about the drop in the budget of the health sector that's gone to 5.23 or thereabout in the recently approved budget. But well, before we get deeper into the conversation, our own Sebugwawo will be interacting with the Director of Health Services, KCCA, Dr. Zalwango, to share with us, to give us a snapshot of how Kampala has performed on the health sector. Well, Mr. Sebugwao, a very good morning.
Good morning, Simon, and everyone watching us at NBS. My name is Suleiman, and I'm live from KCCA, and this is the office of the Director Public Health, that is Dr. Sarah Zarango, who will be taking us through a series of it might be accomplishments, it might be challenges and all that, because we understand that KCCA, as the executive wing of the city, run 8 different health facilities. These include Healthy Center 2s, Healthy Center 3s, and Healthy Center 4s. Dr. Zarango, we would love to know, how do you manage to run all these? Do you face any challenges, and how is it going so far?
Yeah, we run the 8 KCCA managed health centers, and 2 of them are Health Center 4s, meaning they have a wider scope of services they offer to our clients in the city. Then we have 4 of them being Health Center 3s and 2 being Health Center 2s. Yes, we've been offering services, and the demand every year keeps increasing. It could be because of the need in the community, it could be because of the services, because over years we've seen increasing number of patients visiting these facilities, and they could be visiting for various reasons. We have those acute illnesses, we have chronic illnesses, and I must commend the staff down there. When you get to a facility, for example, Chisenyo Kawala, you find them really busy or crowded, and we continue to face the challenge, but we also want to thank the government for the continued support, because we have some stocks that at least we offer to these clients. The challenges we face, of course, the allocation, government allocation to the budget does not match the demand in terms of medical supplies and drugs. Last financial year, we had an addition 2 billion, which supported us in the medicines. So now we have fairly sustainable stocks in the facilities. However, we still have limited human resources. The wage is still limited for about 4 to 5 years backwards. We've not had a revision in the wage. So we don't recruit more health workers to match the demand that's there. And also, we have issues of infrastructure. You get to a facility, it has limited infrastructure, and let me take an example of Chiswa Health Center. It has limited scope of services.
Is it the one in Bugolobi?
Yes, we've yearned to have it improved infrastructurally because it has the land, and we've been constructing the block, the maternity unit, for over 5 years. the limited allocation that's given we allocate it to construct a bit. So it is a 150-bed unit that we are putting there, but it has been for a long time. So it still needs one short allocation to have it completed, so that that area is served with at least maternity services, with theater. Right now it's working as an outpatient department, and it's really strategically located. So we have challenges of allocation that goes to have limited wage. It goes with stockouts, limited infrastructure that needs to be upgraded. We need to have these health centers upgraded. Look at Chisenyi Health Center 4 and Kawala. They are working as even hospitals. They surpass the numbers seen by regional hospitals nationwide. So we need to have those health centers really upgraded to community hospitals. We have revised their structures, but they lack they lack the allocation. They lack to have them recognized as hospitals so that they work as hospitals.
Okay. Doctor, it seems you manage many numbers as KCC through these facilities. We would love to know, are there any current healthy crises, maybe outbreaks? And this, how do you gain the public trust?
Well, like the Ministry of Health declared an outbreak. Currently, we are mainly in surveillance mode because we don't have any active case like we are managing for the last number of days. And I would like to commend the health workforce over there, both public and private, that are really doing the surveillance very well. We are doing active case search to ensure that we don't miss any suspect. We keep doing collecting blood samples. We do mortality surveillance. We are doing transport surveillance, and these have we've received a number of alerts. And through those alerts, we do the blood sampling, and we've not yet received any active case. So would like to commend the health workers there. I want to commend all Ugandans, all Kampalans that are in there, that are doing infection prevention, to please wash their hands with clean water that is running, with soap, avoid hugs, avoid the greetings, and if you have any signs and symptoms related to any Ebola-related illness, to please reach out on our toll-free line, so for easy access, and we screen you, and you keep to yourself so that we don't transmit this disease.
You see, when we talk about these healthy facilities currently under government, you see a lot of people that come here are the wananchi, are people from the ghettos, from the streets down, even uptown people. But then there is the question of public trust, where many claim doctors or healthy workers there do not work, and there is no medicine in these facilities.
I think we've gained the trust. Over years, we've gained the trust. I wouldn't think it's mainly the ghettos that are accessing. We've gained the trust over years, and it's shown by the increasing numbers and increasing caliber of people that are visiting our facilities. You find that people come to give money to this for the service offered, even when you have notices that services are for free. Somehow people give money. And I would like to also call upon the people visiting the facilities not to keep giving money, because to you, in case anyone asks you anything or some money, not to give it, because that's what we are fighting. A number of people are getting extorted when they find the service so good they can't imagine that their facility like KCCA looks the way it looks. It has the services it has, because it has its operating theaters, it has neonatal intensive care units, it has HR that are presentable. So people don't believe it, and they want to give a fee. They create their own fee, or someone who is an imposter could also ask for that, and there could be some other health workers still demanding for that money. But I think the trust has been built over years, and I would like to commend the team.
Thank you for the service.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, Simon and everyone watching us at NBS, that is it from us. More of the details from this story is coming to you in our different bulletins. My name is Suleiman Sebugao. Good morning.
Well, thank you very much, Sulaiman, for that interview Well, it tells quite a lot. And if I could just give you a quick glance at how the health sector has been, over in the 2025-2026 budget, the health sector was allocated 5.8 trillion out of the national budget of 72.38 trillion, and that represents 8.1%, way below the Abuja declaration target of 15%. What does that suggest? Much of this money has gone into top priorities, and these were health worker recruitment, purchase of medicines and supplies, upgrade of hospitals, laboratory services, emergency medical services. Well, the question remains, did this money trickle down to the targeted objectives? And what was achieved? That's the story that we want to look at. Are health facilities upgraded? Do we have well facilitated and recruited health workers? Has there been an expansion in immunization? Have medicines reached the health center 3s and 4s that we always talk about? What is the state of referral hospitals? And does the country have emergency services? There are quite a number of questions that remain. And of course, the key bottlenecks that are still playing center stage in the health sector about medicine stockouts. We have, this is according to the Auditor General's findings, there is idle medical equipment, understaffed health facilities, delayed project completion, weak procurement systems, domestic areas in the health sector. Well, there's just a lot that we need to discuss as a country when it comes to the state of the health sector. And what does the reality reveal? There was an increment in the national budget for 2026-2027, and it shot up to 83 point something. Yet, the budget that was allotted to the health sector dropped from 5.8 trillion, and this time it's been 5.23 trillion. There is a huge challenge in the health sector. We'll actually be looking at some of the key areas, learning from 2025 to 2026 budget and how it could spiral into 2026 and 2027. Well, we'll be joined by my guest this morning, Dr. Timothy Batua. He's a member of parliament and the shadow minister for health in parliament, together with Dr. Kabweru Wilberforce Musoga, the vice president of the Uganda Medical Association, who will be my guest this morning. Good morning. Welcome. The topical discussion focuses on the outlook on the health sector as the financial year 2025-2026 comes to an end. What is the story to write home about? Well, Dr. Batua, what a pleasure having you, and Dr. Kabweru, pleasure hosting you this morning.
Thank you.
With all the statistics, and the realities on the ground, yes. How is the year ending on the health sector?
Good morning, viewers. In my perspective and the way I look at health, especially where I sit as a member of parliament, where I sit as a member of the Parliamentary Committee on Health, and most importantly, where I sit as the Shadow Minister of Health, where I'm tasked to give alternative policies and to understand the policy direction that the country or government is taking. I can say that we are witnessing more of the same. There isn't any big change in what we notice, at least for the last 5 years. When you talk of the performance of the health sector, maybe the way you would appreciate one discussing performance of a vehicle, and maybe he looks at the fuel consumption, he looks at the time, the seconds it takes to accelerate from 0 maybe to 80 kilometers per hour. In health, we have a standard that is established by World Health Organization, these authorities in health, and the OECD organizations, the international global organizations. So the standards, they've set up about 5 parameters that we should look at. One among those is the sustainability and resilience. In this, it's broken down to look at the staffing levels. These have been low year after year. I remember in 2024, Entebbe Regional Referral Hospital had staffing levels of 15%. So where you need 100, you have 15. And Mulago was around 20%. Other regional referral hospitals, it was around the same figure, very low staffing levels. And later, the following year, the staffing structure was changed to accommodate specialists and others, meaning that even the number that was small really dropped down. So now we no longer discuss staffing levels. So you can't discuss whether our facilities are resilient or, service delivery is sustainable in that angle. Of course, when you talk of the financing, last year it was 8% of the budget. This year it's come down to 6% of the budget. So when you give less money, you have to expect less. So we can't say that the sector will perform better than it did last year. So we shall have more of the same, more of what has been happening. The other aspect, of course, is the healthy outcomes, what they look at in determining the performance of health. In this, you look at the mortality. And these are the number of deaths. So the very deaths we recorded last year and the other year are more or less the same. They're just fluctuating. So you can't say we are performing better, whether you're looking at deaths under 5 or you're looking at the mothers giving birth, those ones who are dying in the process, or you're looking at general mortality rate, the deaths within the hospitals. Figures have thrown the general ones at about 78 the year before last year and 76 last year. So you can see it's more or less the same. If you go to those under 5, 38, 36, so it's more or less the same.
Well, if I could hold you there, Dr. Wilberforce, you're more or less at the receiving end when we're looking at healthcare in the country. It's about medics, medical workers. You're very central in this. What kind of picture do you get with all the reports as they're highlighted in the 2025-2026? Was there an improvement, a stagnation, or a drop?
There may have been some improvement, but then improvement is measured at different levels. If you have a newborn who is breastfeeding and he cannot turn himself or herself, and he raises a hand and he drops, that is an improvement, isn't it? If you have a crawling baby and he crawls 2 and then he comes back 1 step, you may think he has improved. If you look at someone who is learning to stand. So why am I saying so? That if you look at the staffing levels, maybe I could start there. Most of these facilities actually are crippling. I have always told people that if you walk up and close the Mulago National Referral Hospital, all these private facilities in Kampala will close the same day at the same time, meaning that they are depending on one of the public facilities. Worst of all, when you just go up country, if you go to most of these health center 2s and 3s, the staffing may not go beyond 15%. So what does that mean? That omuntu wa bulijjo will not get the services where he expects to get them.
Okay.
And,
was there value for money? There was 5.87 trillion. That's quite a sum, isn't it? Or it's a drop in the ocean?
I think, first of all, if you look at the Abuja Declaration, which recommends a bare minimum of 15%. And looking at the year which is ending today, where we got a budget of around 8.1%, that was 5.87 trillion. And if you look at the span of services we want to have patients getting primary health care at all levels. But also we want to get transplants in this country. So it means that we want to get super specialized services, but also we want to get the basic primary health care. So when you stretch what was provided, I would think maybe we may be at the same level, by the way. It may not be that there was an improvement, because if you are to do one transplant, you will consume almost the amount of money that 100 malaria patients would use. So if we manage to transplant like 4 sets and whatsoever, that means we consumed a lot of that money. And some of that money actually doesn't go only in service delivery. It also goes in infrastructure development. And you knew that actually most of the health center 4s were being refurbished, meaning that they were being uplifted to a fairer surface that could be used to get services. That means it also gets some big portion from the little that is provided. And that means if it gets that little, you put it in building, that means you will not have health workers that are looking after your patients. And
traditionally, health sector has been one of the sectors that have enjoyed chunks of money from the donors. Yes. So did the donors maybe support this budget?
Yes, I think there are areas where the donors actually have been supporting a lot, and even up to today they still support, like in the area of TB, HIV, malaria, and then vaccination. And I want to actually to inform people that actually in those areas they are pulled out a lot. Recently we were in the NITAG, National Immunization Technical Advisory Group, and we were informed that actually the donors have chopped almost 40% of the budget that's going to go to the vaccines. And we have around 14 antigens or vaccines that we are using. It means we have to go back to the drawing board and see if the government doesn't come to bridge that gap of 40% in that budget, which you have already cut. Because if you reduce from 8.1 to around 6.2, it means you're almost not putting anything there. That means we shall need to come and prioritize which vaccines do we stay with and others. Either we pull them off or we borrow again from somewhere. So it seems we are moving 3 steps ahead and trying to move 7 steps behind.
Dr. Matua, when it comes to funding, there is a lot of obsession and outcry, I would say, about the low funding. Is 6% a significant amount, or does it point to the priorities of the government?
Yeah, 6% doesn't point to the priorities of government. You know, when you're doing budget, any national budget, take any developed country, they would put the biggest percentage of the budget to health. Because the greatest pillars of any society to develop or to become modern is actually health and education. And you just have to look at how much one has put to those 2 sectors, and you can envisage what to see in that country even before you get in there. It's like a wedding budget. You may want to look at what somebody has put to the reception, and you may get some insight of what the wedding will look like, or the decoration. How much money has he put to decoration, and then you will know the category of wedding you're going to participate in. So when you look at 6%, and in this particular budget, it translates to 5.23 trillion, you know, even the very things that the ordinary Ugandan is going to see, say, for example, the quality of treatment and your own safety. You know, you're going to go to hospital, and instead of getting treatment, or on top of getting treatment, you're also going to find diseases there, because the money for utility bills is low. They will not have water, definitely, sufficient water. The hygiene and sanitation will be very low. So this hospital-acquired infection will be high, definitely. The waiting time, these are things that you're going to see. You've been noticing them, and you're going to see, you'll find the toilets not flashing. You've seen that. You're going to continue seeing that because this budget has not taken care of that.
Yeah, but it also boils down to corruption. If this money, late as it is, was used to its end beneficiary, perhaps things would be better. Do you think a lot of money either has been squandered or the allocation has been wanting?
Where we sit on the Parliamentary Committee on Health, we've seen various accounting officers of the various hospitals indicating to us that there is an increase in demand for the utility resources for water and electricity. And as such, their budget should actually be doubled. And because we have to we have to fix ourselves within that IPF, the indicative planning figure, so we do not raise it. We leave it as it is. So there is an outcry to really expand that. But again, not everything is cured with money. Some things can be cured with policy. For example, National Water, which is giving water to these facilities, is a government organization, is a government agency. So we were saying that why don't we exempt hospitals from paying water bills? Or why don't we pay at source? Why shouldn't this money that is supposed to pay the water bill in the hospital be paid directly to National Water? Government to government arrangement, rather than sending it to the hospital and the hospital pays. You get it. Pay National Water and let National Water have a duty of supplying water to hospitals. Otherwise, everybody knows it within the healthy circles that there are many infections that patients are acquiring when they get into these facilities simply because of the low hygiene. Now look at the waiting time. The policy is very simple. Appreciate the work of interns. Otherwise, you do not have sufficient staffing levels. Interns bridge the gap. These are frontline workers. They bridge the gap. And you're still dragging your feet as to whether interns should be paid an allowance or not. What is the immediate alternative? Is to employ or recruit a medical officer. You're going to pay 4 million shillings. And you're the very person explaining to us that you don't have sufficient resources. So if an intern is bridging that gap at a cost of only 1 million shilling, doesn't it make sense?
Okay.
To forego the 4 and use 1 to get more or less the same service, you get it.
Does the argument that the government is constrained on resources suffice under the circumstances?
Yes, under circumstances it may, but as I've said, that there are things we can address with the policy. Just, readdressing policy, discussing policy, and we say, now this, we can have a policy change and manage it that way. You get it, eh? So we can improve health through such things. There is a very big policy change that I would really want to suggest to government. One that seeks an aspect of health to take on a business model kind of approach. You get it. Whereby, say for example, National Drug Authority, rather than being a giant that sits in the corner, consumes, some of this budget allocation, that money, and then procures medicine and distributes them freely, if it was a business model, would capitalize the national medical stores, give it money, so that it runs like a pharmacy. Then it sells those drugs to the hospitals. Now, for the hospitals, we now give a budget allocation to enable them to go and procure drugs from national medical stores. So when national medical stores receives money from hospitals, it can restock. So in so doing, that kind of business model, it can maintain its inventory very well. It can pay its salaries in time. It can run smoothly. But what is happening under this model that is prevailing, it has to wait for government to give it money, then it supplies medicine. In so doing, whereas they are supposed to give 6 cycles, 1 cycle is supplying medicine once in 2 months. So in a year, they are supposed to be 6 cycles. So you may expect them to give 6 cycles, but they will give 4 cycles. We normally go for oversight and we expect that maybe National Medical Stores has made a delivery. Getting there is no delivery. And the reason is government has not released the money for logistical support to buy fuel for the vehicles, to facilitate transportation of drugs from the store to the facilities. Consequent to that, a disease like malaria, one that can be treated and it cures, ends up killing countless Ugandans. A disease that needs very cheap treatment of about 5K or 2,000. Still, as it is today, it's the biggest disease burden. If you look at the outpatient numbers, the number of Ugandans seeking outpatient service, I should have said maybe for the viewers to relate that if you want to know how many Ugandans get sick, it may not give you a good picture because one Ugandan can get sick in a year, maybe several times. So to get a very good picture of the number of patients we have, you look for the outpatient visits. You get it. Now, these are about 40 million. 40 million, well, may not be evident enough simply because it is picked from HMIS, but some facilities do not have data officers. So, of course, there are gaps, but let's work with that figure since it's a what? Since it's a government figure. But 40% of the 40 million outpatient visits are due to malaria. You get it. Now, a disease that can be eliminated, a disease that can be treated and really people cure, why should we be so slow in managing it? Why should we drag our feet? And that becomes also a burden on the hospitals. Right. Somebody gets there, is not finding a hospital bed. You're putting a patient down on the floor because somebody with malaria is on the bed, a disease that should have been eliminated many years ago. Up to now, we've not done anything substantive on such a disease. You know, donors have come in, donors are exiting, and they are leaving us the way they found us. You get it. We've not benefited from the so much investment that they've put in. So it is time to reflect on some of the things we are doing and how we are doing them. So we are carrying burdens that we should have sorted long ago into the future. And of course, they are getting magnified because the population is growing. The resources are dwindling. The budget is looking at different horizons. You get it. We now want to multiply our economy, I hear, 500 times GDP. You get it. We want to multiply it so many times. So in so doing, we are seeking now to invest in other sectors. So health is being neglected. And it is the perspective almost everywhere. You remember COVID opened our eyes that for you to at least push government to invest some money into the budget, you have to explain health in terms of economics. So when COVID became, you know, an economic problem, not a disease, now the entire world focused on COVID. So we have now to start explaining health in terms of economics.
Well, very interesting. Very interesting. Dr. Wilberforce, if you're to draw a very honest scorecard on the health sector for 2025-2026, as the year comes to an end, what would be the key benchmarks where we would start from?
I think one of the biggest issues that we are grappling with and what we tend to overlook is the human resource, which is a very big dilemma. And I want to look at it from the health center tools. Up to health center, actually up to, if I could say, health center 7.
Health center 2 is the starting.
The starting, before the community drug distributors, or what they call these days choose community health extension workers. So at health center 2, you realize that actually we give outpatient services, and we only have the nurses. So what does it mean? That a nurse can only dispense, but we want clinicians there who can have a look at a patient, make an impression that you have this, and the nurses dispense. Now, to do that, we need to bring in actually health workers. But we have been having the challenge that even the so-called promised 2 doctors at a parish level have not yet come through. And I am told and I've read somewhere that most of even the regional referral hospitals, they were given a lot of money under US.
For recruitment?
For recruitment. And some good billions. You read about 9 billion to some facility, 2 billion, 3 to regional referrals. So what does it mean? If you are unable to provide the substantive people that are meant to be recruited in those facilities. Then I also borrow my friend's narrative that one low-lying fruit that we should not disguise and look at and ignore are the interns. I was looking at the output of an intern. If an intern does one operation, just to say one cesarean section, in a normal average hospital in Kampala, how much is a C-section? Kagwanjala, your wife produces from some of these fancy private facilities. How much do you pay? So if you are paying, for instance, 3 million, isn't it? I'm going even to put it at 1 million. So if you are paying an intern in Uganda 1 million per month, and you are saying you are only going to facilitate government interns and ignore the private interns, yet when they are offering services, they offer the same, and you don't have workers in your hospital, I would say I would even give them more money than
well, as we take a very short break, would you give it to government that at least when it comes to infrastructure, there are buildings?
Yes, they have put buildings, but a building like this without Yunjala here, I came here at 6. Did you know what I was doing in your lounge? I was on Zoom, I was talking to other people, I was discussing things. Was I benefiting NBS and the viewers? No. It means that until I come here and you have employed me now for this hour to talk to the nation, that I'm being productive. So what does it mean? Let government look for money, pay interns. In UK actually they pay an intern. In 1 month they give 13 million. South Africa they give 12 million. Kenya here 7 million. Uganda they are grappling with 1 million. Seriously? No. That money is very small.
Just a second. How much is paid in Kenya?
Kenya 7 million. An intern earns more than a consultant here. 7 million. Kenya cross the border.
How about Rwanda?
Rwanda may be around 5 million or 4. They are better. Even Tanzania is better than us.
How much are interns here asking for?
I'm told just 1 million.
We'll take a break.
The problem is the foundation.
You know the kind of cement I'm using in this foundation? I guarantee you even my grandchildren will come and find this house.
You buy your buy today and get the job done. Strong, reliable, available at hardware shops countrywide.
In the heart of Kampala, arrival is pure ease, uncompromising warmth. Finally, a moment to breathe. Step into a sanctuary of quiet luxury where the world slows down and time is entirely yours. As the sun shifts, the city turns to gold. This is dining as it should be. Unforgettable. Night settles softly. This is peace above it all. A British hotel and apartments. Comfort, elegant, luxurious.
Kumulembe kuna abakozi bakyayambala ebintu ebyo bisambala bannannyini makolero zi kampuni abakozi mubafunire uniforms eziri ku mulembe okuva mu George Color Solutions banyirire bafulume mu material ne design ebiriko ate nga kuliko n'akabonero ka kampuni yo olwo business ogikuba abantu mu maaso bagimanye tosubwa campaign eno omulamu akugamba nti stand out mu uniform yo ne George Color Solutions bali ku Prime Complex ku Johnson Street shop number C24 esimu noti 7772 anamu5 91 mwenda wamune ku www.judecolorsolutions.com.
olwaleero masaga ku ntikko vizo zisasudde ku momo okumala emyaka emeka
ntandise ttaamu ewedde eseo yenna mugenyi Eliana Soso Parents Primary School baby class
bambi namugenyi
Banji
jibaleko
Bale
There you go, *165*80#
is all you need. And you could be one of our winners this second term. And for those of you who pay school fees at those schools that don't use Momo, hey, mubatabukire mubagambe leta Momo ano, because you stand a chance to win a van for the school. This is the power of Momo.
Why pay for someone else's repairs? Say goodbye to hidden costs and hello to peace of mind of a brand new start. Discover the Suzuki range of unmatched fuel-efficient and reliable options. From the iconic Jimny to the new Across Hybrid. Find the perfect blend of style and world-class efficiency. Upgrade today and enjoy 1 year of free fuel and comprehensive insurance, plus 2 years of free service and a 3-year warranty. Trade in your current car or choose financing to start driving as you pay installments. Don't wait. Visit the Suzuki showroom today or call 0800-211-033 to get started.
Uganda is more connected than ever before. From mobile broadband to digital payments, access is no longer the challenge. But the real question is, how do we turn this connectivity into real opportunity? Introducing the State of the Digital Economy 2026, Uganda's annual digital check on how we go beyond connectivity to jobs, innovation, and economic growth. Across 5 key pillars: human capital, cybersecurity, policy, artificial intelligence, and infrastructure. This is how we build a workforce that creates, unlock digital jobs and income, ensure trust and security, enable smarter policies, and connect Ugandans to global opportunities. Don't just be online, be part of what's next. Partner with us to shape Uganda's digital future.
Tired of the limits? Tired of slow connections? It's time to break free. Introducing BCC Net from Blue Crane Communications. Choose the package that fits your life. BCC Lite, 20 Mbps. BCC Pro, 50 Mbps. Or BCC Extreme, 100 Mbps. For every need, every moment. Learning, conferencing, gaming, and so much more. Switch to BCC Net today. BCC Net, fast, reliable, and true unlimited internet. Blue Crane Communications is regulated by Uganda Communications Commission.
Welcome back as we continue shining a spotlight on the performance of the health sector in this year that is wrapping up. Come July 2nd, the new budget will be, in essence, taking shape. But what is the story to write home about the 2025-2026 budget and how the performance has generally been? Dr. Batua, perhaps you share a portion of the blame. Being a shadow minister for health,
yes,
the allocation of 6% in the 2027 now, 2026-2027 budget is quite dismal. Didn't you lobby?
Yeah, the frameworks within the law that can enable me lobby, one is through my alternative policy statement that I make as a shadow minister of health. So in that, I make mine, I present to the Committee of Health, the committee makes a report. But the practice I see within Parliament, they desist to change what Cabinet has instructed them to do. Remember that the people we call the chairpersons of these committees are people who have been vetted and passed by NRM as a party and by NRM as a government. So these ones normally are an extension of what has transpired in Cabinet. So what Cabinet has decided is extremely difficult to change within the committees. You have to politicize the matter. The same way we've been handling the interns matter. You just have to politicize it. You speak about it in the press and all that, so that everybody behind that matter gets to know and they get to understand the logic with which you're speaking, then they change. Less of that, you can't change anything. So with health, we've discussed so many things. Just as I want to use this opportunity, I know most of the people in the cabinet are watching, and maybe the important people in health, like the minister, because we're supposed to be here with him, that you cannot escape, you can't run away from interns. The idea of using that policy that was just passed to recategorize interns as students is going to bring actually legal issues in the way interns do their work in Uganda. As it is now, an intern gets a provisional license and is able to work on a patient in a facility. And the law requires whoever is working on a patient to at least have a license. As it is by the policy that was passed by cabinet, they want to recategorize interns as students because they want internship to come before graduation. But they still want interns to do the work they've been doing. They want interns to continue doing the work they've been doing. So they are condemning Ugandans to receive treatment from people who have not yet qualified, who have not yet done their final exams, who have not yet graduated. So maybe they could have done their final exams, but they've not yet graduated.
So in essence, an intern is a
providers
doctor.
An intern is a doctor because he has graduated. You get it. As it is, internship is after graduation, as it is now. Internship is after graduation, after you're done with the studies. You get it. So
it's a first year of trial.
As it is now, and as it is world over. But now, these people sat, and they came up with the legal kind of tactics on how they can avoid the idea of paying interns an allowance of 1 million, even when Kenya is paying 7 million for the same interns who have spent the same time in hospitals, treating citizens having more or less the same ailments because we are in the same geographical location. So the techniques they came up with is a policy. They gave a very beautiful name that simply is going to categorize interns as students, that is simply going to require interns to do internship before they graduate. But we are saying that behind that policy, they still want interns to treat Ugandans, to complement the human resource that is within the facilities. Now, that is going to bring legal issues because you're going to have a category of medics with no qualification, with no license. You get it? Treating Ugandans, and that the law doesn't allow. So how will you navigate the law on that? You get it? So we are saying the money is so little. You do not have to think a lot. This one doesn't call for your brains to sit in the cabinet and you think. Thank you for thinking, but whatever you thought is not material. And we are going to deny it in parliament. You get it? Simply, let us give the interns the allowance that they need. But most importantly, this time around, we should come up with a law so that we don't visit this thing again in future. This thing of settling, and then that particular year we pass a supplementary, we put interns money and then give interns. It comes with extra problems. Delayed deployment, number one. Number two, we lose also a lot of time. Between deployment and this scuffle, regional referral hospitals are constrained. I've seen the accounting officers there trying to look for medical officers from the smaller facilities in the surrounding districts. So, for example, Jinja, that takes care of Busoga. Busoga has about 11 districts. So you go to those rural places, in their health center force, you try to look for the MOs there to come and give you a service in the regional referral hospital because you're overcrowded, you're basically stretched. And that shouldn't be the case. So we are asking that now that the Ministry of Health is having a new team of ministers, come with fresh mind, don't be biased with what the previous team was thinking about. Let's get on a fresh page. Let's give interns their money, and let's come up with a law that will ensure that within the budget cycle, interns are allocated money directly from the budget, not these things of working as a subvention, where they are thought of afterwards, after everybody has got his share of money.
Thank you. do you see the issues that remain unresolved likely to haunt even this new budget?
Actually, let me start where my brothers ended. I'm a senior consultant surgeon. My work, government pays me to operate people's lungs and blood vessels. I have been teaching Makerere for 14 years. And I think one of the statements I said that this national education and training health policy, first of all, its presence is good, that is now available. And even the opening statements are okay, that they want to make Uganda a regional hub for specialists, isn't it? But the questions in the details of that law is very, very draconian and shambolic. In which way? You can never, in any parts of the world, allow students to touch a patient. As my brother has been talking about legal issues, actually I teach ethics and bioethics at the University of Surgery and Research. A student can never touch a patient the same way, and he can never be trusted. Who takes the liability? So I want to say, an intern will never be a medical student, and he has never been, and is a fully qualified doctor. Please, the government, pay this doctor as he deserves.
There is no money.
There's no money. As there's money to put up roads and even to give these singers, to give whoever, to donate to whatsoever, there is money. Because when we see the priorities, where there's priority, you know where there's priority. You don't know?
Maybe let us say that we shall arrest the permanent secretary of health if he ever comes up with that policy and deploys these people without degrees, who have not yet graduated, who do not even have a provisional license, to treat patients as they've been. We shall arrest the entire team that is behind this. Please, the law will come and hold you.
Actually,
be careful.
We have even made some additions and revised this policy as Uganda Medical Association, and actually we are willing.
What is your stake in this, in resolving the current stalemate?
I think one of the things that we should say, and categorically state, let us leave students finish their 5 years, graduate as usual, conventionally, and after that, they are given a provisional license, which allows them to touch a patient. And you know, if you don't have that, even me, annually, I have an annual practicing license. I never touch patients without it. There is no way medical student under anybody's care will touch a patient to do any procedure. What if he gets a problem? Who is liable? Is it the student? Is it the university? Is it the hospitals? Is it the Minister of Health? Is it the Minister of Education?
As we get out of here, Dr. Wilberforce,
and I want to say
on what note is the health sector closing the year, the financial year?
I think it is closing on a fairly, I could say a fairly small dice. Yesterday I was in the Health Service Commission interviewing doctors, and this is what I asked the chairperson. Please let the directors bring in their requests to make sure they get more. But to this particular policy, let actually the people, the two ministries that are in charge, consult the different stakeholders. And I want to break the different stakeholders. First of all, let them consult the students. You know, they are affected. Some of these students are paying for themselves, and some of them are on loans. I even heard the other day that the Minister of Education plans, I don't know what it plans, but after 6 months, they are going to rain on people whom they have given loans and
who have defaulted.
And they are not employed. So I asked myself, are you going to retrieve their degrees? Are you going to arrest them, put them in Ruzira? Are you going to do what? Or employ them and demand? So what did you do? Or you increase the interests? Those were big questions. So the same applies to the doctors. Let them consult medical students. Let them consult the deans of schools, the vice chancellors who are in charge of academics. Let them consult us. And recently they invited the people and they did not invite Uganda Medical Association. But we own these people. They are under us, all of them. Actually, almost 90%. All the doctors under us. Let them consult UMDPC, the one that actually issues licenses.
So there is a frosty relationship between government and the medical association, right?
Not bad, but...
You're not relating.
We are not relating now in this particular issue. And we are saying no. And even let them consult the National Council for Higher Education. Because there's no way you can accurately...
Gentlemen, we need to sign out. And I really want to thank these two health experts, Dr. Timothy Batua and Dr. Wilberforce Kabweru Musoga, for sharing their perspective on how the year is ending, the budget year 2025, 2026. Is it as bleak, or could it be as glossy as government seems to paint it? Well, that's a conversation that we can continue online. I'm here to remind you that SendWave has very exciting news. In case you send money to family and friends in Kenya, Nigeria, Rwanda, or Tanzania, SendWave wallet is for you. Hold and send digital dollars, cash out in Ugandan currency, the shilling, anytime, and enjoy fee-free transfers between SendWave wallet users in over 110 countries. Download the app, fund your wallet with $10, use promo code NEXT and get a $5 bonus on us. Please note that SendWave makes money on the exchange rate. Terms and conditions apply. Have a pleasant day and cheers.
abalimi ba Uganda baba no bavuddeyo abayiyambye obulimi n'obulunzi basevudde bonna bakuŋŋaanye lumo Sanyuka TV ekuleetedde omwoleso gw'ebyobulimi n'obulunzi tulime tulunde tufune Agric Expo Julayi nga 24 paka 26 enkuyanja y'abalimi bamusiga nsimbi abayiiya abalina obutale n'abasuubula ebirime bonna mu kifo kimu guno si mwoleso bwoleso wabula nno ntabiro ebyobulimi n'obulunzi mu Uganda jangu osisinkana abakugu oyige ate okulaakulane mu mwoleso gw'ebyobulimi n'obulunzi tulime tulunde tufune Agric Expo Julayi nga 24 paka nga 26 ku Next Media Park okumanya ebisingawo kuba ennamba yaffe 0761 00 890.
The world is going digital and creativity is no longer just a passion, it's a pathway. Next Creator is building dignified job opportunities for young people by turning creativity into real careers. It's about more than just content. It's about learning digital skills that lead to sustainable income, branding yourself with confidence, understanding influence and the digital economy. Next Creator equips young creators with the tools they need to grow, adapt and thrive in a fast-changing world. If you want to turn your ideas into opportunities, if you want to make creativity work for you, this is where you start. Next Creator, your skills, your future, your opportunity.
Every taxi, truck, bus or boda you see on the road is a business. And every time you don't take good care of it, you risk losing money. That's why we created Union Oil, to keep your vehicle's engine well oiled and your business running smoothly.
Ono ye wafe, boda, taxi, bus and truck drivers, not forgetting Uber My Car Z. Use Union Engine Oil for superior protection and high engine performance. Order from any Union Depot or Union Stockist Duka. Union, the better way.
Eno y'ensibuko y'obulungi bwa nnyaffe Uganda. ensozi ezigulumidde n'ebibira ebiziyivu kyokka nga bikwesa ezzaabu. Wali olabye ku mazike wakati mu kiragala, obuwangwa n'ennono ebyewuunyisa, ebibuga, ebinyonyi, obutonde obweyagaza, kw'ossa amazina n'embeera z'abantu, byonna mu pulogulaamu Lambula.
Uganda Communications Commission UCC kutusaka takulaba kunyoma olw'okwagala okugatta omutino ku music waffe obuwangwa naddala kadongo kamu n'okumuggulira akatale ak'omulembe aka digital all is gold bakabikabi abagikuba nga 3 July ku Sheraton Gardens wano mu Kampala. Freddy Sebata, Dani Mugula, Matia Luyima, Misusela Saga Mwenge, Kakumirizi, Wile Mukabya, Masias Warukaga, Freddy Sebale, Gerard Kiwewa, Jigijigi, Kasiwe Kapo, Harriet Sanyu, Nabitaka, Betty Nabulia, Aisha Nachito, Bonamu, Hatakulaba kunyoma, Okuyinga shinje mtwalo 10 vyepe mtwala biyate meza ya milioni 3. Sheraton Gardens za 3 July, tutandika sawe mu yakawunge. Kati gonovera wa, Hatakulaba kunyoma, Wagidwa, UCC, Rosbom, Afro Mobile, Nesanyuka TV, Atoro de Bitegekebwa, Baluna Promotions.
From 11 June to 19 July, everything can wait. The FIFA World Cup 2026. Catch all 104 matches on 4 dedicated channels, live on SuperSport, only on GoTV.
Comedy Festival birabiri mukageri rugogo muhuma showground mutenti mwaguga ku Saturday nga July buli comedian gwamanyi mu Uganda wano aja kuberayo Amoti Malanguzi, MC Mariaki, MC Kapale, Madwata Nchiko, Maulana and Rain, Mary Hatumbetu, Bizonto, Mickey Sims Too Funny, Nswangere, Ticha Mpamile, Bobby Brown and Nilo, Sami and Shawan, Tata Oyakite, Tata Sam, Mama Sam, Tulibulana family, Abazebe Bama, Sangana Antume, Muzai Kaladi, Kachapizo, Ivan She Queen, Malaria Chisati, The Talkers, Carrera, Namiomba Comedy, Kojakabaya Nekas Wekapo, Chukamba Nsani, Samuel Hash, Fizi Pro, Ticket Yozigula Kumomo, Kamunyenye Mumkaga Tano, Kamunyenye Billy Zero, Kadara, Ticket Yobojigula Kumomo, Ticket Yebera Yevili Chitum, Ate Kumiliango, Ejakwera Yesatu, VIP Kumomo, Emitware na, Kumiliango, Emitware Tano, Emeze Yabantu Munana, ya milioni 2. Kale Booking Anga Buchari, Juliana Kanyomozi, King Saha, Winnie Nwaji, Irene Nambiru, Nganya July Yerugogo, Muma Showground, Comedy Festival Birabiri Mukaga, Ategekedwa, Abitex Promotion.
Sometimes escape begins above the clouds, where peace waits beneath the trees. Here, nature invites you to breathe, to reconnect, to feel alive again. Where warm welcomes feel as natural as the forest around you. A sanctuary designed for comfort, and moments made to flow effortlessly. Forest Resort Louise, where nature welcomes you home.
Shower music. This one's for the friends out there.
Hi Fireflies, this is a shower music straight out of Cavalle. I am inviting you for my concert, which is going to be on 10th July. It's a Friday and you have no excuse. We'll be a National Theatre, chilling and jamming to Mental Break EP and Fireflies album. Come and let's have a blast. Interest is only 50,000 and 150K for those who will also want merchandise. I love you. See you soon. Mwah.
So you're talking about legacy.
Yes.
And legacy comes with a lot of intention. You know, legacy comes from a lot of maturity.
Yes.
Legacy comes from thinking long term. Legacy comes from, like you said, your ability to give control. It is not about you building, it is letting others build. And that's what you talked about.
Yes.
Legacy is about when you leave, how will the organization or your family or your friendships, because legacy is in different forms and ways, you know, how does it continue beyond you? So you have to be very intentional. Very, very intentional. Legacy requires us not to be selfish. It requires us to be more service driven. You know, I did say this to you when I met you. Legacy is about creating independence, not dependence. You know, so it is about thinking, you know, much more differently than you normally do.
All right, good morning and thank you so much for joining us right here on NBS. My name is Desire Derrickford Mugumisa, and yes, I will be your host through a couple of breakfast meetings this morning. Now, of course, with the breakfast meetings, we get to discuss life and things happening around us and transformations that are happening around us. And we get to bring in a number of people who just get to break these things down for us to understand them a little bit better. This morning, we're going to be talking insurance. And insurance is quite the conversation when it comes to Uganda and Ugandans. Something worth thinking about this particular morning. It is something that gets to bring our conversation to a lot of things that are happening to us in the WhatsApp groups that we are on. A couple of times we are fundraising for someone that we care about, someone that could be family, friend, or a colleague in one way or the other. We live in a life whereby one accident, one illness could just wipe out all those savings. And sometimes we are told about how insurance could fill that gap. And yet, it remains an option for many of us. It could be myself, it could be you. And yet, it remains something that we talk about as something we shall get to at some point when we get a little more comfortable. Many a time, we don't get to it. And today, we're going to be just talking about that. We have Mr. John Katende. He's the Chief Distribution Officer coming in from Jubilee Life Insurance Company. John, thank you so much for joining us this morning. How are you feeling?
Thank you very much, Desire. Good morning. I'm glad to be here with you and looking forward to a great conversation this morning.
I'm glad.
Yes.
All the stuff that I just talked about before I introduced you, is that stuff that you've heard about, is that stuff that is correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Good morning, listeners and viewers. Pleased to be here on the set with Desire.
Desire, yes.
Yes, and I bring you greetings as well from Jubilee Insurance, the staff, the CEO, and they're all excited for us to be here. Yes, it's actually very true that a lot of people remember insurance after the event. Yeah, they like, I should have bought insurance. Or when they're faced with a big bill or they are in a fundraiser, you know, that's when they're looking to buy a product that can, you know, take them through that difficulty. But you can plan better. And that's why I'm here this morning to just discuss openly about what Jubilee has to offer and how we can make life easier for Ugandans and how we can enable Ugandans live free. That's our tagline, to enable people to live free, you know, from, you know, those unplanned events. Yeah.
All right. Now, very many Ugandans will be, of course, seeing insurance as an expense, as something that is money gone, nothing to show for it, an amount of money that I pay on an annual basis, and I might, and most times I won't need it. And we hardly ever look at that as living free or protection, like you get to put that. Why do you think that perception exists?
That perception exists because people do not think hard into the alternative of not having that kind of cover. Because what is the alternative? The alternative could be crippling medical bills that could wipe out entire savings for an individual. It could be, losing, assets or a home, or, selling your car because you have to meet, certain bills. Yet, I know very well that the premiums that are charged by insurance companies are actually amounts that Ugandans, normal Ugandans, spend, in a day, a weekend, So my call to our viewers is that they should think critically into this, find ways to, budget for insurance and have more of planning for, certain events like health emergencies, accident emergencies, and, occurrences. Death happens,
Do you have stories, people you've worked with who have shared with you maybe an experience of having not had insurance, what they went through, and how that has changed because they had that insurance?
So we have countless stories, and I think the test of the pudding is in the claims we pay on a monthly basis, on a daily basis. We pay out maybe 8 billion a month in claims, health related, taking people out of very, very difficult situations, enabling families have babies, fixing whatever it could be, life-threatening situations. I could
8 billion as one company
paying out into
different
hospitals,
facilities,
different facilities. So that is, if anybody needed proof that insurance actually works, it's actually in the numbers. You see it in the claims that are being paid. And I think even if you check with the IRA reports, they're always, updating the market on how much has been paid back into community. It could be motor vehicles, it could be, life insurance claims, death claims, And so that is going on. It happens daily. That's why we are at Jubilee Insurance. Yes.
Well, the cost of doing nothing will mean, as you stated earlier, you losing property. Now, there's many of us without property as well. So that's you borrowing huge amounts and running fundraisers that could be avoided if you just considered that decision and maybe took up, a facility. You call it a facility, right?
Yes, an insurance policy.
An insurance policy.
Correct.
Right. Now, Jubilee Life has actually been growing quite a bit over the last couple of years or so. What could you say is fueling that growth? Is it more people taking up insurance, or should we be happy that more Ugandans are taking up insurance?
Yes, thank you. That's a very good question. So we've been growing year on year, and it speaks into the economy as well. The Ugandan economy is one of the fastest growing economies in the world at about 6%.
That's a plus, I guess.
Yeah. So when the economy expands, even the services within the economy are taken up. So you've got more people moving into maybe middle income, and more people doing more economic activity. And usually insurance enables people to either take out policies where they can save, or take out policies for their health or their kids and stuff like that. So we've been growing year on year, and we got into a phase where we had two entities. We had Jubilee Health Insurance, which was also growing very fast, and Jubilee Life Insurance. Now, these two types of business can be done under the same...
Those are two different businesses?
Yeah, they were two separate companies.
If you could just help us, what was Jubilee Health, what was Jubilee Life, and what are they now?
Yeah, so Jubilee Health Insurance was a health insurance company doing purely health insurance business.
What does health insurance look like?
So a health insurance cover is when you buy a policy, and when you fall sick, you go to hospital, a contracted hospital.
That card that we present at the reception.
That you present.
That is health.
Or an entity like NBS purchases insurance for their staff, and then when they are unwell. So those kind of contracts was what Jubilee Health Insurance was doing.
Okay, and then Jubilee Life?
Jubilee Life Insurance does, so Jubilee Health, those are annual contracts, short-term policies, what we call short-term, annual covers. Jubilee Life Insurance does the long-term covers, where you want to save, say, for 10 years. You want to create a pension plan. You want to buy into, you've got so we hold long-term funds under Jubilee Life Insurance. So our leadership saw it wise to bring these two entities together, because health insurance and life insurance can run under the same license. So we amalgamated into Jubilee Life Insurance of Uganda, and this happened in December last year after getting all the regulatory approvals. So we got the green light to go ahead, and so it's been a phase of bringing two entities together, two teams together, merging two balance sheets to create a very large entity, proudly to say #1 health and life insurer in Uganda today.
Amazing.
Yes.
Right. Now, we've heard about the problem. We've heard about a potential solver of that problem. Now I want to get into myself as a human. First and foremost, there is the perception that the only time I get insurance is when I work with Next Media, because then Next Media will give me insurance and some of the things I demand when I get that contract.
Yeah.
But I've never been in a position where I have felt that I can buy a policy, I need to buy a policy and all of that. So I want us to work with the ordinary Ugandan that might be watching us now. I'm a Ugandan out there, employed or not employed. What are the different policies that are there, the types of insurance that every Ugandan can access and needs to take up?
Thank you very much. So at Jubilee Insurance, we have created a range of products that cuts across the different demographics in Uganda. So we've got the corporate solutions and those for employers, like here you can have an insurance cover. SME type businesses can also have an insurance cover for their staff as SMEs.
So SMEs, you're looking at what companies are about 20, 15
20 people, 15 people. They can come to Jubilee and we'll create an insurance package for them and their staff. Remember, your staff are your most important complement in any entity, because they do the work. So keeping them safe and healthy is paramount. Then we can go into the individual packages. So we start all the way from a young child born 0 years. You can buy that child a policy on their own. You could either buy them a savings policy that's going to look after their education. In case anything happens to you as the parent, their education shouldn't get hindered. You can also buy that child a medical insurance cover. Today we have a lot of Ugandan families where one parent lives overseas in the diaspora and another is here. The children are here. Maybe they're with the grandmother or with the mother. So you can actually cover those children right here on a standalone basis. So the child is covered, and in case they fall sick, they can go into a hospital and get treated. That's called the J Junior insurance package. Then we have also, a family. You and your family, you're not employed by any big corporation, but you want to have a medical insurance for yourself as a family. Because remember, as a family, health needs are there. Different families have unique
bacterial
health
infections
needs.
every single day, and all
popping
of
up
these
all the
kinds of
time. So you can buy what we call a J-Care. The J-Care package takes care of that nuclear family between age 18 all the way to about 69 years of age. So
it starts at 18.
18, as long as you're an adult and you can buy your own policy. Some people also buy these kind of policies, say their children are going to study in Kenya, or they're starting life, buy a J-Care policy. And then we also take care of the senior citizens. So I have maybe my parents, they are retired or semi-retired, and I would like to have an insurance package for them. So we can cover also senior citizens from 70 years all the way to 80. So you see, that's a really broad range of the kind of people that we can cover. And then this year, or late last year, we started going into, people kept saying insurance is expensive, insurance is elitist. So we've also developed now micro-insurance solutions that can take care of umuntu wawansi. From as low as 200,000 shillings, you can buy a medical insurance cover for yourself or for your family and start, managing your risk. Yes.
Okay. Amazing. So much that we usually do not know or I get the opportunity to know about. So thankful for breakfast meetings like these. Now, I know for a fact that there are lots of myths in religion, in different industries, and all of those. And I would want to dig into some of those that are for insurance. Sometimes some people say it's a scam. Other people will say, it's only for the rich and all of those kinds of things. What are some of those myths that come off the top of your mind, and what's the truth about them?
Yeah, so myths about insurance are quite many. First and foremost, insurance is a financial product. It's a financial risk transfer mechanism. You're transferring the risk that you could fall sick or the risk that you could die and leave your family into the balance sheet of an organization that is regulated by the government, that is licensed by the government, that is financially sound, listed on the stock market. I'm speaking in the case of Jubilee Holdings, listed across Uganda and Kenya. So it is a financial decision. When you fall sick, you will need finances to take care of your treatment. It is not that we are in competition with, say, belief systems. It's going to be a financial decision when you fall sick. When your loved ones pass away or a breadwinner, that family could fall back into poverty. So it is not that your beliefs were challenging anybody's beliefs. What we are doing is we are enabling people be more resilient and overcome uncertainty. Because this is uncertainty. It's a matter of risk that you're dealing with. Not that we are challenging what people believe. No. We are saying, in fact, I think you're being a better steward of whatever has come into your pocket. And by saying that, I will make sure that the people I've brought into this world should not suffer when I leave. That's the kind of conversation that we'd like to have.
Well, very, very important that you get to share with us here. If you're just joining us, we're having that conversation that every single adult in Uganda needs to have, the conversation about insurance. When we started this conversation, we're starting at the point that many of us are very familiar with, and that is it just really takes one medical bill to change your standing in society. It takes one bill for your savings to be wiped out. It takes that one bill for you to, just pretty much be on your knees and ask the public to support you. And Jubilee Insurance are here with us this morning and telling us that insurance is an option that you definitely need as an adult, and they're sharing with us a little bit more on what that is all about. Now, speaking of everything we've spoken about, John, I would love to speak on behalf of or in representation of the person that has zero cover right now. And the question here is, what is the first step, the smallest step even, that they should take this week? Not in terms of someday when I am ready, maybe in 3 months I want to do this and all of that. What is that one small step that they need to start with today to start protecting themselves?
So you can start right away you can give us a call. We have a toll-free number, 0800 211 711. 211 711. 0800 211 711. We've got a very able team of advisors that are able to advise you or come out, meet you, and explain how these insurance covers work. We've made it very simple. we've even made it possible for members to pay for their insurance in installments, through partnerships with some banks that are ready to, pay your premiums upfront and then let you pay back very slowly in manageable installments. So insurance shouldn't be a threat to anybody. It's an enabler to live free and manage risk really well.
All right. I also understand that you are making it easier for us to be able to do that digitally and not have to look for an office of yours, because I'm not ready to be asking for where your branches are and all of those kinds of things. When someone calls, they'll find out if they want to come to a branch. But for those of us that prefer the digital side of things, how can we sign up for these products?
So we are quite heavily invested in digital. And through our website, you can just request a callback. Once you request a callback on our website, which is www.jubileeinsurance.com, we'll be able to get back to you. You'll leave your details in there. You can even select what you're looking for: life insurance, health insurance, and we'll be able to reach out to you.
All right. A very comprehensive conversation that we've had with John today. I have one more question for you, though. As you look ahead, where do you see Jubilee Life to be in the next few years? And for the Ugandans, how will that have affected them in their day-to-day lives?
So our ambition in the next few years is to enable more Ugandans overcome financial uncertainty. By coming together, Jubilee Health and Jubilee Life, we are creating products that speak into the lives of everyday Ugandans. We see ourselves being more inclusive, so we are reaching out to communities that are supporting people get themselves out of poverty by embedding micro-insurance covers that make it easy for people to access good quality health care at very affordable rates. And we bring all that creativity, getting the teams to appreciate and support large groups. Our systems have been expanded to take care of a large number of new customers. So we're looking at emerging customers, SMEs, we're looking at farmers, we're looking at people that are in an organized environment, market groups, if they can come together, if they've got a saving association, Jubilee is looking forward to giving them a solution that can protect them in case of death of a member, illness of a member, and also opening up people to take up personal pension schemes. You have a company-sponsored pension scheme, but you can have a personal one, that it will go maybe 20 years into your future. You can start saving today.
So there can be two pension schemes? The one the company gives me and my own?
You can have your personal pension scheme.
They won't compete against each other?
They won't compete. You can open it up through our website. You sign up and start putting in money, manageable amounts that you can put away. And you can still access it after 1 year. So you can top it up, you can draw down, you can keep saving there. But that's all to create mechanisms for our people to find where to put money. So if I'm not working for a company and I need a pension scheme, can I create my own? Jubilee Insurance has that solution.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is, of course, John Katende, Chief Distribution Officer at Jubilee Life Insurance Company of Uganda. Any final words, that one thing that you feel we might have left out that you would want the viewer to know before we say bye-bye to you?
Thank you very much. It's been great being on the show with you. To our viewers this morning, I want to call on you to inflect more on the risks that we see every day. If you just look at, for example, a mode of transport, if I'm using a border, for instance, to get to work or to go about my duty, I need to think critically about risk and what would happen in the event that the unimaginable happens. And insurance, that's the work of insurance. First of all, you need to take due care as you move about, But secondly, have a financial backup plan of an insurance policy. They're very affordable, like I mentioned, from as low as 200,000. You can reach out to Jubilee Insurance, and we should be able to put together a package for you. We look forward to hearing more from the Ugandan communities to extend this conversation on insurance.
All right.
Yes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, a conversation on insurance like you would normally not get to have it. But yeah, John Katende has managed to break that down for us so well. So thank you so much for all the clarity that you've gotten to give us and for the reason to reflect at the very least right there. Yeah. One thing is for sure, insurance is not a luxury, guys. It is, from the many words that he has said, it's a financial seatbelt, if I could make it that. The same way the police urges us to wear that seatbelt as you drive or as you travel in a car and all of that. That's exactly what they're telling us that we need to do. It is something that we do not think about until it is too late. Yeah. So how about we don't wait for it to be too late and find ways in which we can protect ourselves and cover ourselves and not look at it as an expense. So yes, what will you be doing about the conversation that we've had this morning? Or will you be one of those that watched, understood, but did nothing? Don't be the latter. Ladies and gentlemen, that will be the breakfast meeting this morning, at least the first of two. We will be taking a short break, and when we get back, more on conversations that continue to transform Uganda.
Bana Uganda twaniriza Joseph Ngoma mu concert yesose kulugaga cricket ovo nga 10 mu July 2026. Tickets za mitwale 2, emitwale 5, atemeze y'abantu 8 ya milioni 3. Tickets ojatisanga ku caritickets.com, Friends Supermarket ne ku Hotel Triangle. Kwa note 75658 72225. Kino chetu badde tulinda. Joseph Ngoma, mwana mulenzo muwandisi Vocal Powerhouse. Aludenga konko n'endongo. Ekutte ku mitima gy'abanna Uganda. Gendongo yenyuma, eyimusa. Ekuwe suubi. Agikubya mu style y'omulembe. Kati ategese ekitabangawo. Twagala cricket ovo. Ejure kumulundi guno goka babulaza mutwale kwa sister out bitegekedwa charism nebiwagirwa.
Are you planning an event? Think of X Events. For the best photography and videography of all kinds, we believe that every moment is worth capturing. Whether Kwanjula, weddings, Kuhinjira, bringing out the culture and glamour. And of course, a professional team that has mastered the art of the game and Progear with elegance. X Events is located along Rubaga Road on Access Building opposite Hotel Sojavalo. X Events, capturing your precious moments.
Better study tips. Stay ahead of scams with double-check URLs. Before entering login credentials, scammers create fake websites that look real, aiming to steal your data. Always verify the web address to stay safe. In partnership with Uganda Communications Commission and NBS.
Influence is more than followers, it's impact. At Next Influencer, we connect brands with the right voices through a thorough vetting and discovery process. We onboard influencers with hands-on workshops that build skills, unlock real opportunities, and fuel professional growth. Brands find the perfect match, influencers get dignified jobs, and audiences experience authentic stories. This is where influence becomes value. Next Influencer. Create, discover, connect, influence.
Yes, habari Uganda, my name is Palazzo. Ensonga endeserero ya unemployment. Are you looking for connections? Ozagala wano oboyagala connections eweruwe gwanga. Hayes Recruitment is here to support you. Aba Hayes Recruitment beba kafulu boka abaina connections ku mirimu mu Uganda ne bweruwa Uganda. they have opportunities waiting for you. Era mu kulwanyisa ebbula ly'emirimu n'okubazaamu amaanyi negase ne Hayes Recruitment ng'amaze okukakasa nti balina emirimu egisobola okumakinga sikiru y'omuntu yenna. Kati gwayagala okwekolerera okyuse ku bulamu bwo tukene ku birooto by'okozesa ku connections zange. Tukyalireko, visit Hayes Recruitment today and let's unlock your potential. Buli awulidde ategeeze munne nti go Hayes, go better.
Reggae live in concert at Kolo Airstrip nga musanvu August kyekivulu ekigenda okubeera eky'omwaka. Get ready for the biggest Ugandan show mu style ya Kikompola waggulu Matala, screen, stage ne sound nga byonna bya Phenon Records. Kinye emitwalo esatu ale baadi ng'okozesa momo emitwalo 2 byejja emitwalo 5 ale baadi ng'oguze ku momo emitwalo 3 emmeeza y'abantu omukaaga ya miliyoni 2 ey'abantu omunana ya miliyoni 3 nyiga kamunyenye mu mukaaga 5 kamunyenye 20 otunga tiketi yawe Reigi yata hawesen Uganda n'amaani ati ninyetavembara ababushenyi igara byantonde abeibanda rukunjiri mwije murebe omwana wanyu nakitera nakihonda eno sho twagalamu ebyani byanywa amate ebishagara ebishapa stakinga koranyenye Kololo Airstrip musanvu August bitegekedwa Abitex Promotions. Abalimi ba Uganda babano bavuddeyo abayiyambye obulimi n'obulunzi basenvudde bonna bakuŋŋaanye lumo. Sanyuka TV ekuleetedde omwoleso gw'ebyobulimi n'obulunzi. Tulime, tulunde, tufune Agric Expo Julayi nga 24 paka 26. Enkuyanja y'abalimi bamusiga nsimbi abayiiya abalina obutale n'abasuubula ebirime bonna mu kifo kimu. Guno si mwoleso bwoleso wabula enno ntabiro ebyobulimi n'obulunzi mu Uganda. Jangu osisinkana abakugu oyige ate okula kulane mu mwoleso gw'ebyobulimi n'obulunzi. Tulime, tulunde, tufune Agric Expo Julayi nga 24 paka nga 26 ku Next Media Park. Okumanya ebisingawo kuba ennamba yaffe 0761 00 890.
Some moments make headlines, others quickly shape our nation, but every moment matters. This August, step into Uganda's story through the eyes of one of its finest visual storytellers. Through the Lens is back. Bigger, bolder, more compelling than ever before. This August 7th, 2026. Witness the defining moments that shaped our nation, from the intensity of the 2026 general elections to the strength of our communities, the beauty of our culture, the courage of our leaders, and the resilience of our ordinary Ugandans whose stories deserve to be seen. Every frame tells a story. Through the Lens, Season 2. Experience Uganda's stories, one frame at a time.
All right, good morning once again. And yes, my name is Desire Derek Ford Mugumisa, and conversations that continue to transform Uganda are those that we continue with right here on the breakfast meeting. Now, this time we're going to be going academics, and the big conversation is really down to the university being more than that place you go to after senior 6, one that does stay in the ecosystem, and one that you ought to be interacting with in one way or the other. Now, that and much more is a conversation that we're going to be having with two distinguished ladies that I get to join me in the studios that I will allow to introduce themselves, and then we'll pick it up from there. I'll start with my immediate right.
Okay, my name is Monica Chibita. I'm a professor at the School of Journalism, Media and Communication, Uganda Christian University. We offer a PhD, a master's degree, and a bachelor's degree, and cooking some new programs at that school.
Yeah, she's definitely interacting with Gen Z's cooking. It is right there. We are happy to have you, Professor. All right, and my extreme right?
Yes, I'm Elizabeth Balio-Jusa-Kizito. I'm an associate professor in the Faculty of Agricultural Sciences, Uganda Christian University. We also offer PhD programs, master's programs, bachelor's programs. Actually, opportunities for application are still open, and glad to be here today.
All right. We're glad to have you. Now, of course, as I pointed out earlier, for many of us, when we think about university, we are thinking about the lecture halls and the hostels and graduation and all of those kinds of things. But I like that today we're having a different kind of conversation, and that is a conversation around what else universities do, and that is also producing knowledge and having it, providing access for it to society. And I do understand that tomorrow, Wednesday, is a big day for many of us, the 1st of July. I will come to you, Professor, to just explain to us what exactly it is, what makes tomorrow a special day.
So when you attain the rank of full professorship, usually you're given an opportunity to give accountability for your work and for what you've been doing, and usually the kinds of people invited to that occasion will be academics, but they'll be way beyond academics: policymakers, students, lecturers, industry people, and so on. So that so tomorrow, Professor Aaron Mushenjezi, who is the Vice Chancellor of UCU, is giving they call it inaugural professorial lecture. Okay. So it's like the first big public lecture after you attain full professorship.
And that is what is happening tomorrow.
That's what is happening tomorrow at UCU. Yeah.
All right. You've told us about the inaugural professorial lecture and all of that. Do you remember what yours was like? Maybe just to paint a picture for us.
I remember very vividly because it took me by surprise. Normally you have more than a year to prepare your lecture. I didn't have a very long time for a number of reasons, and it came just before COVID hit. And as I was preparing, I didn't know what it was going to be like, but I arrived at the place where they told us to gather, and all the professors were there, dressed up, and there was a band. My mother was there, a number of family members were there, and we had this procession going into the main hall and all, and then the hall was full. It was kind of a different feeling. It was nice.
When you describe it, I imagine a lot of, what do they call that, where you feel less than the word has just gone out of my mind, because I'm thinking you're just becoming full professor at that point, and now there's full professors already attending that. Yeah,
there's a little bit of nervousness and all, but you overcome it very quickly because you know this for the first time, nobody's judging you. You can speak without feeling like somebody's judging you or seeing if you've got the theory right and all. You're just telling them your journey, where you have been and what it has taken, who has supported you, and so on. So in a way, you are less nervous because you know nobody's judging you. You don't have to prove a point.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to come to you, Professor Kizito. And for me, the question is, of course, he's the Vice Chancellor. Professor Mushenjezi is now being promoted to full professor. A couple of people would be thinking, people who are watching who do not know the academics that much, myself inclusive, shouldn't that just be like something on the notice board? Guys, congratulations and all of that. Why does it have to be marked with the public lecture? If you could help us understand why that happens the way it does.
Okay, thank you very much. Attaining that rank is no mean feat. There's a lot that has gone into it in terms of generating knowledge, which many times people don't understand. More so even people around you. They hear what you do, or maybe go to work, do research and all that. An inaugural professorial lecture is an opportunity to demystify the things that have kept you away, for example, from family for so many years. It's an opportunity to inform the public as well, because you break down in simplified form the things that you have been doing and the relevance they have for you, probably as family, as a university, as students, for society. And I think it provides the opportunity for engagement. So people are able to ask, or because there are opportunities for networking after that. You get to meet with this person, ask more simple questions, really down to earth. they're supposed to be able to break down their work in a manner that a layperson is able to understand. And so that's the engagement, the university, the public, the community. Yeah.
Okay, that's definitely something that we understand a little bit better. Another bit I would want to ask is now for the student that will be attending that tomorrow, why should they care and what should they be taking out of that lecture, especially since it's not something that, you know, they're going to be examined about or something like that?
Yes. For students, more than anything, it's about inspiration. Even when you remember yourself at that time when you joined university, there's a lot of diverse information, and you probably don't know where you would want to focus your life. Hearing from some of these renowned researchers gives a student insight into where they think they would want to focus their careers, what's interesting, what's out there beyond the lecture room. It opens their minds up. I think it's even very more interesting for a student to attend. You get to know what research is about, really. Which corridors does it take you down, which pathways, probably which pitfalls should one avoid. I think it's
very valuable for them.
Very valuable for a student.
It also helps students to connect their lecturers to their work. Sometimes we teach people for years, but they don't know that on the side we are publishing. And then that day they get to know that you've actually published this, you have books, you have articles, and they kind of appreciate you differently. But like she said, it also makes them feel like this is achievable. I can also do this.
All right. So what I pick from this is that this is achievable, this is inspiring, but very importantly, I think what we are also saying between the lines is that as a student, you get to trust your professor even more because now you feel like there is evidence of what they have done and what they are doing and how it is helping them in their own lives. For the university as an institution, over and above what the professor is all about right there, how does this event help in terms of, you know, building a stronger culture of research for the institution?
You can answer.
I would love to give this to Professor
Chibita. Yeah, the first thing is that, again, it is exposing the fact that somebody has been doing research and therefore inspiring people to do research. And also when you see the glory that comes out of becoming, on that day at least, there's not much glory afterwards, but on that day, there's a lot of glory, there's a lot of feel good, you know, for people to see that all these years of sleepless nights and so on and so forth result into something gratifying. I think it is good, but it's good for the visibility of the university. The university gets known and gets known for what they are good at. And sometimes that's an opportunity also to connect with the people who are like-minded or organizations that are interested in funding research or working with you or taking your students and so on. It's a great opportunity for the university.
Amazing. I like that, and I read here that this one is going to be about orature, it's going to be about media, it's going to be about young people in Uganda, and I think that is definitely as current as it can get. My question to that is that this kind of research, how does it not stay in the university? How does it move beyond it and actually shape how, you know, youth culture is understood? Is this something that you've thought through, Professor Kizito?
I think that will be the most intriguing part of the lecture tomorrow, hearing what Professor Mushenjezi, what his thoughts are, and how orature would appeal to the young people of today, because I think the young people of today have different ways of expressing themselves. And we are highly in a digitized world. How do the two connect? How do the two connect?
And the other thing I think is one of the most exciting things about Professor Mushenjezi's research is that he bridges the old and the new. So we are used to storytelling, riddles and so on and so forth. but he brings in the more modern media and the more modern ways of expressing our culture, which I think a lot of the young people are beginning to get interested in. They have poetry nights where they just go and recite and so on and so forth. If you converted that into a podcast, short TikTok videos, and things which are accessible to them, I think that would be a good way of putting it out there.
All right. I'm going to come to you, Professor Chibita, and I'm going to reference your intro where you stated that you are cooking more and all of that. And for us, that is really language for the gens that we work with here and all of those kind of stuff.
I'm surrounded by them.
Yes, and this is why I want to bring this question. It's not even on the script, but I'm just going to ask it. Is it an educated guess to say young people don't like to read? Or at the university, do you see it differently? And are you defending the fact that these young people love to read?
I mean, no disrespect at all for young people out there, but I just want to say that reading has become quite unpopular among many young people. And the reasons are clear. You see, in our days, the only way you got knowledge, almost the only way you got knowledge, at least in the academic area, was by reading tangible books. Going to the library, touching the book, opening it and reading. But now, there are so many other ways to know without reading the way we understand it. You can listen, you can have AI summarize the work for you and so on. And so you in a way, you don't blame them, but it's for them to understand that you need a certain base for you to take advantage of these new technologies. You need a certain base of knowledge to draw from so that you can build a good prompt, so that you can instruct AI appropriately and don't let it do all the work for you and pass on all its mistakes to you. So do people like to read? Some do, but a lot of them would rather not read. I teach them, so I know. They know I know.
Sometimes we are sharp and we hide these things somewhere in there, no?
We all know.
Okay. Now, again, on the same lane of thought, Professor, that is now attendance of events like this. Sometimes a couple of people will say, that's just for academics, it's boring, I'm not going to go there, and all of that. How real is that risk? Do you feel we are managing it better now? We've figured it out?
I still think that what takes people to university is curiosity, search for knowledge. And I think there is a remnant of people who still would want to know, would want to hear, would want to understand, or would get out of their comfort zones for that. But probably they need to be prompted or reminded, and that's why we're here. But hey guys, come and listen, come and see what you may pick out of this for your personal interest or for your career growth or for the sake of knowing. Because anyone, actually, virtually anyone, even if you're a vendor in the market, even if you anyone is welcome, because the lecture is supposed to be able to break down to even the most lay person should be able to get a gist or to get a grasp of what the professor has been doing for these many years. I think we are not. It's not yet that bad that people may not turn up. No.
Okay, that's encouraging. I'm clocking towards 40 myself and all of that, and it's only recently that it's starting to hit me how impactful the things I choose to do, to associate with, to take in, inspire what I want to be. So that is sparked by the term curiosity that you use there. If you're not curious enough, then you probably are not going to go in the direction you need to go. It should be able to also tell you that what you choose to consume as content will shape your day, your weeks, your months, and maybe your life. So be curious enough to attend an event like this. And maybe a thing or two that is said in there will get to inspire you.
I think another reason to attend is if you know Professor Mshenjezi, first of all, he's a master of his area. He's widely published. He's a deep academic, but also he has a great sense of humor. If there is no other reason to come, at least come to
and
have
laugh.
a laugh, yes.
Yes.
Because that's guaranteed.
All right, look at that. A comedy show in a very serious
in an academic
environment.
He's not a comedian.
Well, if we're going to have a laugh, then maybe there will be some comic relief in there. I would love to tap into your history and your experience and all of that. In terms of, you spoke about how lectures like these get to change how a university is seen. Do you remember some specific ones that definitely put this particular university in a good light, or when you hear what we say about UCU, you feel like, okay, that other lecture must have contributed to this conversation?
I would speak about the last professorial lecture we had, Professor Nyende in theology. He gave a very moving, there's a testimony to the value of training church workers. More than in this era we live in, we are faced with so many different kinds of challenges, and the way church workers are trained needs more of it. Needs to maybe adopt, adjust, because the challenges we face in society today are not the kind that were here when the missionaries first came.
Yes.
And the church workers who were trained at that time. So he gave a very moving testimony into that, and I believe that the School of Theology at UCU has picked a leaf here or there in the way they are now training their church workers. And now, remember, this is evidence-based research, informing, therefore, the way training of church workers happens. So that is a very vivid example of
the impact
and if I, sorry to interrupt, if I may add to that, he also made a very clear link between theology and development.
Yes.
Which sometimes we think the two walk on parallel paths, but he made a very good connection between the two. And like she said, evidence-based, you get the impression that evidence-based applies only to the sciences, but Professor Nyende demonstrated that in the humanities you can deliver an evidence-based solution.
Nice.
Yeah, you did.
I'm really praying that these are documented somewhere and we can maybe catch up on some of these videos, at a later.
They are all documented.
They are
amazing.
You can get. I think they are recorded events as
Yes.
well.
They are all recorded.
Okay, so they can be watched somewhere.
They can be watched. Yes.
That's amazing. I think that would be very good content to catch up on, especially today, because of course religion is also taking on different faces here and there, and if someone can know that it can also, contribute to their day-to-days in more ways than the spiritual, then it's impressive. So as we conclude this one, Professor, I'm going to come to you. For anyone that is watching or wants to attend tomorrow, when, where, well, we know the when, what time, where, and who exactly should make a point of being there?
Okay. So the day is tomorrow, 1st July. It's at Nkoyoyo Hall, which is the main hall of Uganda Christian University in Mukono.
Okay.
And it starts at 2 p.m. Starts at 2 p.m. The lecture itself runs for about an hour. Okay. Who should attend is anybody who is interested in oral literature or orature, which is slightly different from oral literature, but anybody who is interested in that crossbreed between oral literature as we understood it and the modern media and how it is expressed these days. Anybody who would like to hear from Professor Mushenjezi, anybody who would like to have a good laugh, policymakers, government officials, academics, media industry, educators, theologians, everybody is welcome.
All right.
All roads lead to Mukono tomorrow.
All right. You want to add something?
Yeah, it will also be live streamed thanks to NBS.
Yes.
So we encourage people to log on because Mukono sometimes seems very far. But yeah,
I think it's no longer the distance. Sometimes it's the traffic.
But
yes.
And that's what makes it far. So yeah, you can use our social media pages, YouTube. You can also watch NBS at that hour. We will be having it live streamed at that time, thanks to NBS, we're grateful for that.
We're grateful to be able to support such initiatives, really.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you so much for joining us right here on the breakfast meeting. And for me, I think what we are taking from here is that, again, the university job, like these distinguished people have, is not something that ends at the classroom. It's no longer about, well, it's not just about what they teach us and all of that. It's also now very much about producing that knowledge and then sharing these experiences while they get through their lives. And yes, I'm very interested in watching that one coming in from Professor Aaron Mushenjezi, who's also the Vice Chancellor of the university, that is the Uganda Christian University in Mukono. He will be becoming a full professor if you're just joining us, and he will be sharing with us on a historiography of orature and media culture for young people in Uganda. And of course, it's a topic that sparks so many other conversations. There are moments where these ladies have gotten to express themselves on, the reality of the young person in Uganda, and have wanted to ask other questions and all of that. So maybe those questions will be answered tomorrow. So yes, Wednesday, 1st July, from 2 p.m. to about 6 p.m. at Nkoyoyo Hall, that is at the UCU main campus in Mukono. You can be there physically, that is at Nkoyoyo Hall, but if at all it turns out that you are not able to be there physically, and by the way, it's better you are there physically. But should it so happen that you're not able to be, it will be live streamed. That is on the university's YouTube channel. But we also shall be live on NBS. And you are able to also live stream that through the Afro mobile platform. And we'll be sharing more details on that on our social media platforms as well. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much. It was a privilege.
Yes.
And we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. If duty allows.
If duty allows, yes. I'm also not so sure what I'll be doing at that time. But if duty allows, I definitely would love to sit in and get to just take in the whole atmosphere and attend my first professorial lecture. Until this morning, I'd never heard of that. So I would love to, experience that. And maybe, just maybe, I can contribute to that in the future.
Sure.
All right. Have yourselves a great morning.
Great morning.
Thank you very much.
And to our viewer, thank you so much for tuning in. That was the breakfast meeting. And I do hope that you gathered as much information as possible that you can use to transform yourself as well as your community in one way or the other. At the very least, I'm sure we have improved the quality of conversation you'll have in your next social gathering about this particular topic. Have yourselves a great morning and keep it NBS.
Tomorrow night.
What if the house you built didn't trap your life savings, but moved with you? This week on Property 360, we discover a revolutionary way of building that's challenging everything we know about construction. A home with 95% material recovery, built faster, stronger, and with more conventional methods.
From the experience we've had in the field, we just disassemble and remove the wall. And the numbers we get from the field, we are achieving over 95% recoverability.
Is this the future of affordable housing in Uganda, or is it simply too good to be true?
The only difference that we have done is that we are reducing how much mortar you are putting between the two blocks.
Before you spend millions on your next building, watch this episode. It could completely change the way you think about building.
And that's it for today. Till the next episode.
Like a daily bando, like a daily bando, like a daily bando. omuliro nguwulira muli mu mutima gukankana like drums kalakata kalakata endungu yakusabula we gonna do free of fire free of fire free of fire.
Welcome to Radio Wala, Uganda's very first radio station made just for Indian diaspora and lovers of Indian culture. From timeless Bollywood classics to today's hottest hits. Vibrant festivals, mouth-watering stories, and heartfelt moments from our community. Listen exclusively on Afro Mobile, your cultural connection anytime, anywhere. Whether you're cooking, driving, or just relaxing, turn up the joy with Radio Wala, because here, every day is a celebration. Radio Wala, let's play.
In a digital world, not everything is what it seems. False stories today spread faster than truth, leaving us all wondering what's real. Disinformation misleads, misinformation misguides and spreads confusion and fear. Dismiss, a campaign to help you think critically, question wisely, and verify thoroughly. Join us. Let's build a more informed Uganda, one truth at a time. Dismiss, inquire, verify, confirm. Together, let's fight fake news.
Welcome to NBS Plus, where you take center stage. Be bold, be loud, be creative. From the hottest entertainment to the biggest stories to the boldest voices. This is your space, your vibe. No limits, no filters, just you living, creating, and owning your moment. Only on NBS Plus. Simply download the Afro Mobile app to enjoy all the vibes. NBS Plus, be you.
NBS happening now.
All right, good morning once again, and thank you for keeping it NBS. Now, of course, we go into our regular programming as a political command center, don't we? Now, getting elected to parliament is one thing. Knowing how to use that seat is a whole other thing. Holding, how to legislate, how to hold government to account, and so many other things. Now, you don't just get to cram those. They don't leave you to, come up with how you will go about that job. They do get to induct you and train you and just show you the way forward. And that is something that the Right Honorable Jacobs Oboth will be getting to be all about. And opening as Parliament, the MPs, the members of a Parliament, especially the new ones, get to be inducted into Parliament. That is coming to you live right now.
Honesty and hold the executive accountable with fairness. Where government actions advance the national interest, they will find constructive support from us. Where they depart from the Constitution, however, and undermine accountability or fail the people we all represent, we shall speak with clarity, conviction, and respect for this institution. Allow me to conclude where I began. We are part of this house at the behest of the people of Uganda. That confidence is not a permanent possession. It is a trust renewed only through faithful service. Long after the speeches we make have been forgotten, and long after the divisions in our chamber have faded into history, one question will remain. Did our service strengthen Parliament and improve the lives of our people? If at the end of this Parliament, our citizens have greater confidence in their institutions, stronger faith in the rule of law, and renewed hope that public office exists to serve the public good, then we shall have honored the oath that we took, honorable colleagues, and we shall have justified the confidence placed in us. I appeal to all of us, therefore, to work together, all of us, for the good of this our nation. The Constitution entrusted Parliament with immense powers because it trusted Parliament to exercise those powers wisely. May history record that the 12th Parliament proved worthy of that trust. I thank you for your kind attention, and I say this for God and my country. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Joel Senyonyi, the Leader of the Opposition. Thank you for bringing more light to the office of the Leader of the Opposition. Mr. Speaker, allow me to share a little story. A few years ago, we had a team from Parliament that went to the Senior Command and Staff College in Kimaka. And we taught them about Parliament and explained that in Parliament, not only is it proper, but it is mandatory to have opposition. It was a very interesting conversation because in the army, the order is one. And we told them in Parliament, we have got to listen to both sides. So thank you very much, Leader of the Opposition. Okay. Allow me now at this juncture to invite the Right Honourable Prime Minister, Leader of Government Business, the Right Honourable Robin Anabanja, and if you will, Madam Prime Minister, at the end of your remarks, we kindly ask that you will invite the Speaker to come and make his remarks. Thank you.
The Right Honourable Speaker of Parliament, the Deputy Prime Ministers, Honourable Ministers, the Leader of Opposition, and Honourable Members of Parliament, I bring you warm greetings from His Excellency General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of the Republic of Uganda. He congratulates you all on your recent electoral victories, and he told me he expects support from Parliament for improved social services of our country. Right Honourable Speaker and members, I am pleased to join you for this important induction seminar. I thank you all, more especially the Right Honourable Speaker, for organizing this seminar. It's very important that we go through this induction. Right Honourable Speaker and members, I want to express my appreciation to all the previous parliaments for supporting the NRM government and His Excellency the President in laying the strong foundation for socio-economic transformation of Uganda. We are starting this term of office, that is 2026, 2031, when the country has made major strides across all sectors of our economy since 1986. For example, Uganda has graduated from the category of least developed countries to the lower middle income status. What we need now as the 12th Parliament is a qualitative leap to the upper middle income status. And this is so because of peace and security. Honorable members, the whole country is peaceful and secure. I request if you are clapping, clap louder. Because what I'm talking about is a reality. Right, Honorable Speaker and members, the whole country is now connected by tarmac roads from east to west, north to south. Except for a few areas where you and me have to put our feet down to make sure that we tarmac those other remaining roads. Right, Honorable Speaker and members, the literacy rate has increased to 80%, up from 43% in 1986. Life expectancy has improved to 68 years, up from 43 years in 1986. Right, Honorable Speaker and members, access to clean water. 8 in 10 households now have access to improved water sources. In 1986, only 1 in 10 households had access to a clean and safe water source. Right, Honorable Speaker and members, our electricity generation capacity has greatly improved, up from 60 megawatts in 1986 to 2,098 megawatts now. But this is not enough because of industrialization. And therefore, all our focus should now be directed towards the target of 52 megawatts by 2040 through diversifying our energy sources, what we commonly call the energy mix. That is the solar, nuclear, to mention but a few. Right, Honorable Speaker and members, the size of our economy has expanded 17 times, from US dollars 3.9 billion in 1986 to US dollars 69.3 billion now. The task before us, honorable members, is to ensure that this economic growth produces jobs, better household incomes, and prosperity. Right, Honorable Speaker, let me talk about education briefly. The number of our children in government-aided primary schools has increased to 9.52 million in 2026 from 2.5 million in 1997 when UPE was introduced. There are also 2 million learners in private primary schools because of our good policies, especially the policy on liberalization. And therefore, I request members to put our heads together to address some outstanding challenges in this term of office, such as teacher absenteeism, school dropouts, to mention but a few. Honorable members, households poverty has declined from 56.4 in 1994 to 16.1 now, according to the 2024 housing census. Our efforts now should be directed to bring our people into the money economy, especially the 30% that are commonly known by everybody. Right Honorable Speaker and members, let me talk about the implementation of the 2021-2026 manifesto. Out of 809 commitments in the 2021-2026 NRM manifesto, 699, representing 88%, were implemented, though some are still ongoing. As a result, Uganda is now one of the best investment destinations in Africa. Let me repeat this. Honorable members, Uganda is now one of the best investment destinations in Africa, according to the 2024 annual investment meeting in Abu Dhabi, the capital of United Arab Emirates. Right Honorable Speaker and members, I know you are aware that I derive my mandate as a Prime Minister of this country and leader of government business from Article 108A of our Constitution. And of course, you are aware that it requires me to be the leader of government business in Parliament, and it gives me mandate to be responsible for coordination and implementation of all government policies across ministries, departments, and agencies, including local governments and other public institutions. And of course, it also mandates me to perform any other functions as may be assigned by the President, or conferred by the Constitution or any other law. And you are aware that I'm a member of the Business Committee of Parliament. I promise that I will present government business, and I know this is going to be the epitome of our performance as Parliament. I will answer and respond to your questions during the Prime Minister's question time. And this is provided for under Rule 43 of our Rules of Procedure of Parliament. And of course, I will also prevail over ministers to attend Parliament this time round in big numbers. We are in the process as NRM of designating members of Parliament from our side, that's the NRM, to the leadership positions in Parliament, as provided for under Rule 187 and 188 of our Rules of Procedure. The Government Chief Whip will announce the members appointed to those positions at the next sitting. So members, very soon. Right Honorable Speaker and members, I want to request that we work as a team. Recently, the President directed me to coordinate ministries, departments, and agencies, especially the ministries of Foreign Affairs, the Ministry of Works and Transport, Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, and the Ministry of Internal Affairs, to evacuate 771 Ugandans from South Africa following the escalation of anti-migrant protests. So I believe Either tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, our brothers will be flying in from South Africa. Right Honorable Speaker and members, it is our constitutional duty to support government and the President of the Republic of Uganda in moving Uganda to the upper middle income status through legislation that enhances development, especially household income, and transform livelihoods. That's why our legislative program is fully aligned with the Fourth National Development Plan, the 2026-2031 NRM Manifesto, and the 10-fold growth strategy, which seeks to grow our economy from $69.3 billion in this financial year, which we are closing, to $500 billion by 2040. To achieve this, government has prioritized 4 strategic growth drivers, commonly known as ATMs, and that is agro-industrialization, tourism development, mineral development, science, technology, and innovation. These are supported by key enablers, including peace and security, infrastructure development, investment in our people, that's wealth creation, industrialization, market access, environmental protection, and moving the remaining 30% of our households into the money economy and fighting corruption. In conclusion, Right Honorable Speaker and members, it is our responsibility to provide oversight of government programs as Parliament, including the flagship program of government, that is the Parish Development Model, Emyoga, roads, health, to mention but a few, to ensure that these interventions transform the lives of Ugandans. Honorable members, oversight is not about confrontation. It is about strengthening government performance for a common good. Our goal should always be to improve service delivery. I encourage honorable members to support the government legislative program as outlined by His Excellency the President in the State of Nation address on 4th June 2026. In the same vein, I urge you to support and vote for NRM positions or government positions on the floor of Parliament as we address the challenges facing our people. I encourage you all to fully commit to this training that will help guide you in your work as a legislator. It is on this note that I want to wish you fruitful deliberations through this week as you become acquainted with the roles and responsibilities of a member of Parliament. Thank you so much. It is my singular honor at this material time to invite our brand new Speaker of Parliament to come and address us. Brand new.
Thank you, the Right Honourable Prime Minister, the Honourable Ministers, the Leader of Opposition, the Right Honourable Leader of Opposition, Honourable Members of the 12th Parliament, the Honorable Clerk to Parliament, and staff of Parliamentary Commission, resource persons, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together again for the Prime Minister, and then for the Leader of Opposition, and for the two other speakers who are our development partners. I welcome you all today to this induction seminar for members of the 12th Parliament. This is part of the fundamental foundational processes by the Parliamentary Commission for the progressive adaptation of members of the 12th Parliament to the workings of the legislature and to adequately tool them for the efficient and effective discharge of their roles and responsibilities. This tailor-made induction is a recognition of the importance of adequate preparation as an enabler of success. As you accelerate your learning curve, this induction will sharpen your grasp of parliamentary practice, processes, and procedure, parliamentary committee operations, and the general workings of the government, among others. The citizenry of Uganda has huge expectations of the 12th Parliament, especially at a time when government has set an ambitious socio-economic transformation agenda. The knowledge and skills gained from this induction will be a catalyst for greater responsiveness in addressing the needs and aspirations of our people. Over the next few days, you will have the benefit of listening to and interacting with various resource persons on a variety of carefully selected thematic areas. I implore you to listen, learn, participate, and deliberate extensively with the awareness that learning is a precondition for progress and lifelong process. Under my leadership as your humble speaker, the Parliamentary Commission will cause periodic capability and enhancement interventions in its work plan to ensure regular tooling and retooling of members of the 12th Parliament in pursuit of a more efficient and effective legislation. At the next sitting of the House, as you've already heard, parliamentary committees will be constituted in furtherance of Article 90 of the 1995 Constitution. Besides boosting your representative role as members of Parliament, parliamentary committees will provide you with an opportune platform to exercise the knowledge and skills acquired during this induction. I urge you to use your time here well, and also in the committees, by first and foremost being present and committed to parliamentary work. And if I want to pause there a bit, if I was the chair of the committee today, supposing Committee of Natural Resources was sitting, what I used to do was to award good behavior, members who are present always and who are participating. And when you go back to your committees, it's a very good method to use, how you get members who will be present and committed to parliamentary work. And for those of you who came here on time, I want to put my hands to clap for you. I came with the government chief whip, and I believe you saw those who are committed to parliamentary work. In order to attain our strategic vision of re-engineering and recalibrating the legislature back to factory settings, I urge you to abide by the 7-point strategic vision for the legislature as follows. 1, zero tolerance to corruption. and cultivating a culture of absolute transparency and integrity in the conduct of parliamentary business. Corruption is not the Speaker. Corruption is not the Parliament alone. Corruption is the whole of government. Two, strengthened accountability and strict compliance with the public finance management laws and regulations, and enhancing internal controls to prevent misuse and loss of public resources. And you heard from LOP, this is where we are meeting. Some of these pillars cut across both government and opposition. We should all work together to strengthen accountability, and it starts with us. Don't ask for payment for trips which you have not undertaken. Don't come and sign in the book of attendance when you did not attend committee meetings. Don't go and get money for field trips where you have not been. Accountability starts with us. And as Parliament, if we can say zero tolerance to corruption and then strengthen accountability, the Prime Minister's work will be easier. When they come to us, they will come when they are clean. The Auditor General's work will be easier. The reports will be clean reports. Because that's why I say it starts with us. 3, evidence-based legislation by promoting rigorous, fact-driven, and well-researched legislative deliberations. We expect ourselves, after this induction, that when you rise to speak, you'll speak from facts. You will have evidence. You will not be bringing a WhatsApp discussion or a fake news in Parliament. You will speak, and even if the Prime Minister does not like what you are speaking, she will say, I have nothing useful to add. Because it is fact, evidence-based, well-researched, because we have a whole department of research. 4, people-centered legislation by prioritizing the needs, voices, and aspirations of the citizens in all parliamentary activities. And the key word here, all parliamentary activities. As you debate in that house, you know our primary role is to prioritize the needs, the voices, and aspirations of the citizens of Uganda in all our parliamentary activities. 5, results-based budgeting by focusing legislative resource planning and expenditure to tangible, quantifiable, and measurable outputs and outcomes. Here, as you could have already heard, because some of the reforms we're going to do, I'm waiting for the Parliamentary Commission, so that when it is in order, I don't want to be a one-man show. We want to process them. We had, the first thing I heard from the clerk was that I asked, are the committees well facilitated? And he told me there's a deficit that government did not give us. We had a deficit of about 10 billion. So that's why you've heard informally that some money which was in the office of the Speaker, which I would have loved to have, because that money helps me and you people. I said the Speaker should not be facilitated to donate money when committees don't have. So I wish you knew the reason for giving that money back to, you would not have clapped. My expectation as Speaker is that when now you have these monies, you will not be asking for kitu kidogo from the ministries, and departments and agencies. We want a parliament that we can be proud of. If you are going for the field, Parliament should be able to facilitate the members fully. And you heard from our development partners giving examples of South Africa, where, Ethiopia. The next time you're speaking, you'll be giving examples of real case scenarios of Ugandan Parliament going to there. So we expect to do a few things when we are fully constituted. We now have the Prime Minister, Leader of Opposition, the Deputy Speaker, and the Clerk. We are waiting for the backbench commissioners, especially from the NRM side. And you only have up to 7th. By 7th, we need the commissioners, we need the chairpersons, because we have to begin the work. So some of the monies, and that the implication of me returning money to parliamentary committee would mean that the office of the Speaker will not have as much to, Yes. So we have to decide, should the Speaker have these monies that I be handing over, or should we have a parliament that will function? So I made that proposal, which will be processed through the Parliamentary Commission, and you'll get to know part of the reforms. 6, open parliament that fosters transparency and upholds professionalism and a collaborative working relationship with the media and other stakeholders. We believe that when you are open, you'll be honest. So you can't fear the media. And the media would be our partner to transmit the information that we are doing to the members of public. So unless you Parliament, you say we should close, but that's my proposal, that we should be with an open Parliament, which is accessible, which fosters on transparency. Transparent, there should be no mysteries about the decisions of Parliament or what the Speaker would be doing. I think it's a good thing that we allow, unless the media begin to abuse that. But we have some media, especially now in the House, the Speaker will also restore. We shall have a periodic press breakfast with the media where we can engage them more vigorously, that they know the truth, so that they can report from factual points. The 7th one, proactive oversight, in which Parliament, through its committees, conducts real-time and effective monitoring and evaluation of government institutions and programs, and due reports back. Honourable members, you heard from the UNDP was saying how Parliament can help government fast-track some of the projects. I said on the first day that we should not be waiting for Auditor General's report. We are going to disrupt some of these things. We know a road given money through national economy, process through either law. This Parliament should be able to go and also oversee. And when we are going, we can ask the Prime Minister and the line ministers, go and oversee what's being done, other than waiting to do a small time when it is too late. Your presence there, it's not that we ask for any bribe from the contractors. No, but to put pressure on behalf of Ugandans that we need this work done and done well. That one, we need your support so that we can be proactive in our oversight role. And there should be a plan about the oversight. Every committee has every sector committee will be having projects. And in my view, as the former chairman, of the committee is that there should be certainty in our budgeting and financing. The old, I say Honorable Katun here, I found in Parliament. I'm glad that he has left when I'm the speaker, because he would be torturing me every day. You know that I have no option but to say that I'm glad you left. But we brought him here to share his thoughts. But the Parliament, it should be very active, beginning in this 12th Parliament, so that where members, that's where you will show your skills, your abilities, you speak more, you are more resourceful in the committees. In Parliament, where we meet, and when you're there, we shall have to agree that when we meet as Parliament, the people out there, if we have evidence-based, we are factual, should be able to appreciate what we say. It's not about who has the numbers, Right Honorable Prime Minister. It's not about who is winning the argument and on whose behalf are we winning the argument. In the Parliament, we need a Parliament that even people are watching. They don't play to the gallery like most people do. They say certain things on the camera in the plenary because they want to account to, or scandalize the Parliament. Parliament is our home. You will be told here. You will be told. It's where we belong. The Prime Minister belongs there. The Vice President belongs there. And somebody who will be talking to you about the separation of powers, they will have more to see how we meet at one point. That the separation, yes, is there, but we meet at one point. The executive is members of Parliament. Members of Parliament approves appointment by the executive, by the President. There's interlink and interrelationship. So when a committee has made a work plan, that work plan is costed. That costed work plan goes through, and the clerk with the technical people, they approve that. There should be no change. The money which was planned for must stay in that committee to do the work that that committee has planned to. I can promise you, because the only person who has the power to change the funds would be me. But you accept me, a modest speaker, that I will be modest. So sometimes when you come here and you ask me, put me under temptation to remove money from one committee, then I give you to build a church, I will say no. And also when the money is finished in your committee, you just know that was the plan for the financial year. So that we are not stressing ourselves. So, as we are here today for the next few days, we are here to learn together. Some of you have been in Parliament before, some have been, you have different capacities. But here, let's learn together. And the Right Honourable Prime Minister, though they have asked me to come and only open, I have also developed. We shall open, but also we have constituencies. But we shall be sitting here throughout the training, the instruction, so that we learn together. So therefore, honourable members, with those very many words, I take this honor to declare the induction ceremony of members of the 12th Parliament officially open. And thank you for your kind attention.
Honourable members of Parliament, I'm sure you can do better than that. Can we give the Right Honourable Speaker a round of applause? We thank the Speaker for the very wise counsel, for the guidance and the leadership that he has promised for Parliament over the next few years. Thank you once again, Mr. Speaker. Now, on behalf of the Clerk to Parliament, I would like to guide you on what is going to happen now that this workshop has been officially opened. In your programs, you'll notice that we have a health and tea break. So at this juncture, we are also going to have a group photograph at the steps of this convention center. So I would like to ask that you kindly, in a very orderly way, proceed to the steps. On your return, you'll see that the sections in the foyer have been organized for you to have your tea break. We have got several points, not only at the foyer here, but also behind, through the doors right behind you. Now, for the ministers who are here, they have organized for a tea break for you in the Nile Lounge downstairs, and you'll join the Right Honorable Speaker at that point. You'll also notice that we have got an exhibition point in one of the corners here. When you come back from your tea break, we'll encourage you to look through and see the history that our Parliament has gone through. There shall also be a documentary that will play on the screens. It's quite historic and really rich. We ask that you take time. For those of you who want to share more about this documentary, you can always refer to our website as well as YouTube. So you can follow this documentary on those platforms, on website as well as YouTube. So for now, I'll kindly ask that for our members of Parliament and our ministers, you may proceed to the steps of Parliament, while the protocol teams will guide the Speaker, the Prime Minister, the Leader of the Opposition, and the team at the front, where they will go over the next few minutes. So for the rest of our members, we kindly ask that you proceed to the steps of Parliament in preparation for the group photograph. Thank you very much.
NBS happening now. NBS happening now.
Flavor Mocha Chupa. Taste our refreshing, juicy flavors in our 250 ml and 400 ml packs. Splash Kachupa. Flavor Mocha Chupa. Flavor on the go.
In Uganda currently, we have around 6 million PWDs. We realize that this is a group that is disadvantaged when it comes to access and use of ICTs. And certainly this was through the access and usage survey or study that was also conducted by UCC. What was recognized in this study is that there is low awareness of ICTs by these PWDs. And this is for the ICTs as well as the assistive technologies. It was also discovered that there is limited information about the people with disabilities. When it comes to information that could be used for planning purposes, it is really limited within the context of what is available.
Limited access to ICT and assistive technologies increases digital disparities, prompting UCOSAF's aim to promote digital inclusiveness for persons with disabilities. The ICT for Persons with Disabilities program ensures that all individuals, regardless of their abilities, can benefit from the opportunities provided by digital technologies and have an improved quality of life.
Looking for a household cleaner that truly delivers? Meet Apo, the antibacterial cleaning powder for bathrooms and surfaces. Apo is formulated for 3-dimensional cleaning. It's a scouring agent that scrubs off dirt and stains, a germicide that kills 99.9% of household germs, and it works with water to wash everything away, leaving your bathrooms and ceramics hygienic and sparkling clean. Keep up hygiene standards without breaking the budget. Switch to Apo today. Apo is available at supermarkets and convenience stores countrywide.
Bana Uganda twaniriza Joseph Ngoma mu concert yesose kulugogo cricket ovo nga 10 mu July 2026. Tickets za mitwale 2 emitwale 5 atemeze abantu 8 ya milioni 3. Tickets ojadisanga ku carrytickets.com, Friends Supermarket ne ku Hotel Triangle. Kwa note msamvu mukaga 558 msamvu 225. Chino chetu bade tulinda Joseph Ngoma mwana mulenzo muwandisi vocal powerhouse arudenga konko nendongo ekute ku mitima j'abana Uganda gendongo yenyuma eyimusa ekuwe subi haje kuya mu style yo mulembe kati ategese kitabangawo twagala cricket ovo ejure kumulondi gunogoka babulaza mutware ko ba sister out bitegekedwa charism nebiwagirwa teko mukawefuwe waffe owalinya step liro fenna tulabiti buli lugendo luggwa bulungi tusange ku mitimbagano omanyi nkyukakyuka gy'osobola okuleeta ng'okozesa hashtag yaffe #linya step. Comedy Festival bila mukaga lirugogo muhuma showground mutenti bwaguga kusagadinga nya July buli comedian gwamanyi mu Uganda wano aja kubeerayo Amoti Malanguzi, MC Mariaki, MC Kapale, Madwata Nchiko, Maulana and Rain, Mary Hatumbeto, Bizonto, Mickey Sims Too Funny, Mswangere, Teacher Mpamile, Bobby Brown and Nilo, Sami and Shawan, Tata Wea Kite, Tata Sam, ne Mama Sam, Tulibana family, Habazebe Bama, Sangana Antume, Muzai Kalari, Kachapizo, Ivan She Queen, Malaria Chisati, The Talkers, Karera, Namyomba Comedy, Kojakabaya Nekas Wekapo, Chukamba and Sunny, Samuel Hash, Fizi Pro, Ticket Yozigura Kumomo, Kamunye Mumkaga Tano, Kamunye Bili Zero, Kadara, Ticket Yowajigura Kumomo, Ticket Yebera Yevich Tum, Ate Kumiliango, Ejakwera Yesatu, VIP Kumomo, Emitware na, Kumiliango, Emitware Tano, Emeze Yabantumunana, ya milioni 2. Kale Booking Anga Buchari, Juliana Kanyomozi, King Saha, Winnie Nwaji, Irene Nambiru, Nganya July Yerugogo, Muma Showground, Comedy Festival Bilabili Mukaga, Ategekedwa, Abitex Promotion.
Shower music. This one's for the friends out there.
Hi Fireflies, this is a shower music straight out of Cavalle. I am inviting you for my concert, which is going to be on 10th July. It's a Friday and you have no excuse. We'll be a National Theatre, chilling and jamming to Mental Break EP and Fireflies album. Come and let's have a blast. Entrance is only 50,000 and 150K for those who will also want merchandise. I love you. See you soon. Mwah.
Tomorrow night.
What if the house you built didn't trap your life savings, but moved with you? This week on Property 360, we discover a revolutionary way of building that's challenging everything we know about construction. A home with 95% material recovery, built faster, stronger, and with more conventional methods.
From the experience we've had in the field, we just disassemble and remove the wall. And all the numbers we get from the field, we are achieving over 95% recoverability.
Is this the future of affordable housing in Uganda? Or is it simply too good to be true?
The only difference that we have done is that we are reducing how much mortar you are putting between the two blocks.
Before you spend millions on your next building, watch this episode. It could completely change the way you think about building.
Uganda Communications Commission UCC kutusaka tapula bakunyoma olw'okwagala okugatta omutino ku music waffe obuwangwa naddala kadongo kamu n'okumugulira akatale ak'omulembe aka digital. All this gold bakabikabi abagikuba ng'asatu mu Jula.